They are 1-4, and if they lose tonight, well, the players themselves are saying we're going to be out of it. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're 3-2, but it's a different team that dominated the 1970s. We'll be talking about that. But a win tonight for the Steelers, and they move to the top with Cleveland in the AFC Central Division. Howard Cosell will not be with us tonight. He's in Baltimore preparing for tomorrow night's telecast for the first World Series game involving Baltimore and Philadelphia. But when you don't have the one great mind, you come up with two minds. And we got a pair of them, a couple of greats from out of the past. O.J. Simpson, number 32, and Don Meredith, old number 18.
That's
17.
Right. Not 18.
Number one in yards.
Well, yeah, we'll miss his brain, but we got our heads together, so it's going to be all right. I've got a scoop for you. I had so many lunches today with so many different people, and I found this out. Pete Johnson has been activated, a big fullback, all-time leading rusher for Cincinnati, 270 pounds. He's going to be playing tonight.
Well, I tell you, he's going to need every one of those 270 pounds because he's going to play against a Pittsburgh defense that literally starts 19 players.
Wait a minute.
I'm telling you, you're talking about situation football.
Oh, I see.
Hey, every play they look like Grand Central Station running in and out of there.
We're going to have a good time. I think it will be a good ball game tonight, O.J. Let's have some fun.
Well, let's go dance.
Oh, Frank, take it away. Let's go get it, Frank.
All right, gentlemen, about ready to get underway. The Pittsburgh Steelers have won the toss. They will be dropping our number 44, Henry Odom. He's a rookie from South Carolina State with good speed. And Tim Harris, another rookie from Washington State. Set to get things underway. Jim Breach. The Bengals again, 1-4. They know they must win tonight. Pittsburgh fighting a rash of injuries. We'll tell you about them shortly. Here comes Tim Harris. We're underway from Cincinnati. Harris out over the 28 to the 24-yard line where it will be first down and 10. The Pittsburgh Steelers. And quite naturally, the first injury that we will discuss is Terry Bradshaw, the great quarterback of the 70s, not starting tonight, of course, with the celebrated and much talked about injury to the right arm that required surgery last spring. Cliff Stout for the year, 57%, 4 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. But he has not been producing the spectacular games, even though the Steelers are 3-2 in the season, that the Pittsburgh Steelers fans were accustomed to with Terry Bradshaw. The wide receivers, they'll be young tonight because the Steelers are hurt at the wide receiver area. And on the right side of their offensive line, as we watch Walter Abercrombie bursting over the right side for about 6, it'll be second down and 4. And defensively, the Cincinnati Bengals like to play the Steelers with a lot of movement up front. That is the 3-4 that they open with. Eddie Edwards, one of the best pass rushers in the NFL, over on the left side. And he will be going up against Tunch Ilkin, filling in for All-Pro Larry Brown of the Steelers.
Tunch Ilkin.
There are your 4 linebackers. Jim LeClaire returning to duty, the leader of that defensive unit of inside linebacker. He's been out for 4 weeks. Second down and 4 for the Steelers. The ball just over the 30-yard line. And here he comes, Franco Harris. Over the right side, he gets up close to the first down in the arms of Jim LeClaire. And what can you say when you speak of Franco Harris? He has moved ahead of O.J. Simpson. All-time yardage. He is into tonight's game only 953 yards of passing the legendary Jim Brown as the all-time leading rusher in the history of this game. And he's off to the best start ever. And they're going to measure it. O.J., what can you say about him? He stays healthy. He's wise. He is just still the leader of this team.
You know, I asked him today if he was thinking about retiring or when he's going to retire. He says he never even thinks about it. He said, if you think about it, you start looking forward to it. And he's playing the best ball he's ever played, and he feels as good as he ever felt, and he can play 3 or 4 more years. Look at Franco.
And he runs just as well. He is off to his best year, 417 yards into the night. He has 3 100-yard games already this season. And he needs to take up the slack because the Steelers, looking over a third down and short, you saw it a moment ago, just inches for the first down. The Steelers are hurting at the wide receiver and in the offensive line. And Stout pulling ahead, using 6'4" and 218 pounds to get the first down for the Steelers out over the 35-yard line.
Always give it to your strong runner in those crucial situations, okay? I mean, he actually is the leading rusher for a quarterback in the league. You know that? I mean, Cliff, he's not throwing a lot, but he's running a lot.
And we talked about those wide receivers. We'll see a lot of Calvin Sweeney. O.J. touched on him earlier. We'll see the youngsters, Wayne Capers, who opened tonight, the rookie from Kansas, because Greg Hawthorne and John Stallworth are both injured tonight. Flag goes as Abercrombie tries the left side, and the whistle goes before the ball is snapped.
Oh, start. Offense.
And it will work against the Steelers. I'd like to mention the fact that Ed Biles, the coach of the Houston Oilers, 0-6 on the season, announced his resignation this afternoon. So the Houston Oilers are coachless tonight, winless on the season.
Hate to see that. I think Ed's an awfully nice man, but he certainly had a hard time putting that club together.
Ball start. Offense. Failed to pause for 1 second.
It's really strange to look at a Pittsburgh team with all the great receivers they've had, and they look at a guy like Calvin Sweeney, who's only had 19 receptions in 4 years, and Capers, who's never caught a pro pass, lining up for him.
They've spoiled us through the years, haven't they? They've had the great receivers there.
First down, 15. Stout. He fires in and out of the hands of Penny Cunningham, the big tight end. It'll be second down and 15. And Cunningham also is playing with very sore ribs tonight. Greg Hawthorne, who would start a wide receiver, has a muscle pull in his leg. We won't see him. John Stallworth, injured reserve, out for 4 weeks with a hamstring pull. And, of course, Lynn Swan, retired last year. Jim Smith, who was a great backup to Stallworth and Swan, he has gone to the USFL, Birmingham. So the Steelers going in a different direction. Franco Harris, single setback now. Second down, 15. Now, looks to Abercrombie. He's not open, and he has to throw it away. Abercrombie picked up nicely out of the backfield. Stout had to switch off, tried to get it to Cunningham, to no avail.
Reggie Williams put some good pressure in the linebackers. I think we're going to see the Bengals are at a point right now where they're going to have to do so many doggone things, and they're going to try a lot of them. Reggie Williams, 57, you'll see him come in. You'll see Stout drop back. Nobody's really open.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of this. With the inexperience in their receivers, he's going to be looking for guys to get open all night. And I got a feeling they're going to have to run the ball.
It's hard to do anyway. They've got 15 yards to go.
New folks, offensive line for the Steelers on the right side. Larry Brown not in there tonight. Corson not in. They've been replaced by Ilkin and Donnelly. Third down, 15. Here comes the pressure. Stout gets it to Harris. Harris short of the first down. Out to the 40-yard line. A flag is down in the backfield for Pittsburgh. And we're going to have the call work against the Steelers, but it is a fourth down. It could be declined. Cincinnati looking for possession.
Another thing about Franco, we talked about his running. He's their leading receiver, I think, this year.
He is indeed.
We have holding, number 55, offense, declined, fourth down.
Rich Donnelly filling in at right guard for the Steelers for an injured Steve Corson out with a sore knee. Detected holding. Penalty declined to bring up the punting unit, and Craig Colquitt will kick away for the Steelers, and dropping is Mike Martin, a rookie out of the University of Illinois. Great wide receiver there. Respecting Colquitt. Martin has settled in inside the Cincinnati 20-yard line. Colquitt, a booming punt that hangs high and takes Martin all the way back to the 5.
Good move.
And hammered at the 10-yard line is the youngster Mike Martin, a punt of 55 yards by Craig Colquitt. He got it off beautifully, and Cincinnati, their first possession, we're just underway, will begin near their 10-yard line.
The results are in. More Americans looked at value and put their money on Chevrolet in the 1983 model year. They made Chevrolet #1 in new car and truck sales, #1 in onboard computers, #1 in fuel injection, #1 in front drives. That's because Chevrolet provides the cars and trucks America wants and needs. In fact, over the past 6 years, Chevrolet has sold more than all the imports combined. Thanks, America. Chevrolet. And you.
Buds for everyone who kicks off the week with Monday Night Football. Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. This Bud's for you.
Looking across Riverfront Stadium, you can just see the lights of Cincinnati. They're all on tonight. 50-degree temperatures. Skies are clear. A beautiful night for football. Cincinnati's first possession. Kenny Anderson, of course, the quarterback. They'll begin at their own 11-yard line. Here comes Charles Alexander, who's been filling in for Pete Johnson, who was out for a 4-game suspension on drug involvement. He was activated this afternoon, the big, booming fullback of the Bengals. Big. Kenny Anderson with 70% completion once again, leading the NFL in that department, as he usually does. Last week, in losing to Baltimore, he still had over 330 yards. There is Alexander, one setback. They'll use Rodney Tate, and they will often use 3 wide receiver, Chris Collinsworth having an absolutely great year thus far with 23 receptions. He is split at the bottom of your screen. That's Tate in motion on 2nd down and 9.
A little offside, looked like.
Anderson, he reads defenses so quickly. He looked right, came back to Collingsworth, who never stopped working. And he gets up to the 25-yard line, but again, the flag is down at the line of scrimmage.
Looked like the tight end. It looked like he readjusted his stance at the last minute. I think it's going to cost him.
Had a little slight hitch in his get along, what you call that. Just kind of oozed on out there a little bit in a hurry. Collingsworth has had a good year. Yep, that's what it is.
Our referee tonight is Pat Haggerty. He'll be working along with his crew. Hopefully we'll hear a little from Pat. Nothing personal, but we like it that way. There's your 3-man down front, and O.J. touched on it. They'll play everyone on that defense. 19 to 20 guys will see a lot of action. Linebackers, they're good, and particularly Jack Lambert inside on the left side, the leading tackler once again, as he is annually. The cornerbacks, Mel Blount over on the right side, one of the all-time leading interceptors in this league, and he's got a couple already this year, and he's in great condition at 35 years old.
Illegal motion, number 89. Offense. 2nd down.
Dan Ross, it was the tight end, lost at 5. It'll be 2nd down and 15. Still a very loyal crowd. They turned out in sellout numbers here tonight. But I'll tell you, if they go 1 and 5, they'll be looking for friends. Anderson now backed up inside his own 7-yard line. Play action. Anderson. Oh, what a great touch. Anderson, with a tremendous touch, gets it to the tight end. Dan Ross.
Oh, that's really pretty. He dropped that one in the bucket, didn't he?
I don't think there's no way you can cover a guy any better than he's covered.
No, you really can't. But evidently, he just a little quick, not much of a play fake, but a little one. This is really the touch. You just drop that thing on it, didn't throw it that hard. That's the only place that one can be. Nice throw.
That is a mark of a great passing quarterback. And Dan Ross, one of the better receiving tight ends, Pro Bowl a year ago, probably because they didn't give it to him in 81 when he had 71 receptions and led them to the Super Bowl. That's Isaac Curtis in motion on 1st down. This is Alexander right side. And Alexander working hard out over the 30 to about the 32-yard line for a gain of about 6 before Lauren Taves is there first for the Steelers. It'll be 2nd down and 4. Hall of Famer Forrest Gregg with the messenger system, giving the play to Rodney Tate.
Forrest is really frustrated this year. He thought he had a good ball club, and they've come in. They seem like they've had so many things that have gone wrong for him with injuries and, of course, a couple of suspensions before the season started. He can't get it together. So we've got to score some points. That's all there is to it.
32-yard line, 2nd down and 4. Alexander, single setback. Play action by Anderson once again. Anderson, Isaac Curtis. Curtis inside Pittsburgh territory at the 47-yard line. Curtis's 12th reception of the year, but Anderson has been concentrating so much on Collingsworth this year. Curtis still, O.J., with that great speed, will take that defensive back so deep.
Yeah, well, Curtis used to be their home run hitter, and now he's more their possession receiver. There he is running your everyday 20-yard out.
Yeah, this is what they don't have in Pittsburgh. Now, they've been throwing to Isaac for a number of years, and the timing, Kenny let that ball go before Isaac made his turn. He knows where he's going to be, and in talking to the Pittsburgh people, they haven't had enough time to work with those receivers.
It was not your Bobby Lane spiral, was it? It was beautiful. Tightly woven, and Anderson throws the ball that way. On 1st and 10, Alexander breaks it again on the right side, and this time he's up close to another 1st down. Once again, Lauren Taves from the offside had to take Alexander in pursuit. And the Bengals have really come out firing tonight. They're coming off that line of scrimmage, working over there with Mike Wilson, Max Montoya, and Dan Ross does a fine job blocking. There's Pete Johnson. We mentioned he was activated this afternoon. He could have been activated last week, but they couldn't find scales enough to weigh him, I don't think. He came back at about 273.
He's dropped 3 pounds this week. He's in there at 270.
Lost an earlobe.
Yeah, but I tell you, they really missed him because they've had some crucial 3rd and 1s and 3rd and half foots that they haven't been able to get.
That's right, against Buffalo we're talking about. They didn't score from the 4, and that's what Forrest Gregg says. That's what this team misses. Says if you can't score from the 4, we don't deserve to win.
We see it all the time. Anderson either not liking his personnel that was sent in or the defense he was looking at. He calls timeout.
DP Gym Pack. Professional exercises at home. DP. Fit for life.
For life, for life. My turn.
Chevy Top is taking charge. Compare S10 Maxi Cab to Datsun King Cab, and you'll see Chevy S10 has
Maxi room.
50% more rear load space.
Maxi payload.
More payload than King Cab.
Maxi power!
Optional V6 muscle the imports don't have.
Maxi towing!
3,000 pounds more than the imports. Maximize your truck value. Chevy S10 Maxi Cab. Chevy Top is taking charge.
The Phillies and the Orioles, two great clubs who meet for the first time, battle for baseball's greatest prize. The World Series begins tomorrow on ABC.
There is P. Johnson, number 46, all-time leading rusher for the Bengals. Came up a second-round draft pick, All-American, Ohio State. And in the 6 years he's played, he's been the Bengals' leading rusher. He also is a good man in protecting Kenny Anderson. Anderson has a first down and 10. The ball at the 37-yard line of the Steelers. No score, just underway here in the first quarter from Cincinnati. Anderson, a lot of time, too much time for the Steelers. Isaac Curtis, and that ball was fumbled. That ball is picked up.
Right.
And taken by Brian Hinkle. Curtis had possession of it. It was stripped. And the Steelers get the football. Good field position, 38-yard line. Anderson frustrated. He had the ball right into Isaac Curtis, and then he gets stripped.
No, flooding a zone. He had three of his receivers over there on the right side. They couldn't cover all of them, and he just fell out of his hands, looked like to me.
There, Dwayne Woodruff got right up into Isaac Curtis. The ball came out, and the man that collected, Brian Hinkle. The Steelers have a first down. They're at their own 38-yard line. We'll be back in Cincinnati in just a moment.
Chevy Top is taking charge. Moisture and road salt are murder on a pickup. But tough Chevy S10 comes with built-in corrosion-fighting zinc-coated steel to help guard against rust. While Ford Ranger uses about 93 square feet, Chevy S10 gives you almost 3 times more zinc-treated steel, about 277 square feet. For year-round protection, Chevy S10's got you covered with tough corrosion-fighting steel. Chevy Top is taking charge.
We just had to find a cheaper way to heat and cool our home. Then we heard about a system that uses a special pipe developed by Phillips Petroleum that circulates water below ground. The earth warms the water in the winter and cools it in the summer, so the system's heat pump works less. And our energy costs are cut up to 50%. Now, I don't have to buy gasoline at Phillips 66, but I do, because some of their ideas strike pretty close to home.
Fine products for you and your car from Phillips Petroleum, the performance company.
Sunday, a network television premiere. Nighthawks following Hardcastle and McCormick.
Brian Hinkle recovered the ball for the Steelers in his second year, but actually was injured reserve for his first year, so has not had that much experience. He made a big play, however. Quick snap, and there was movement by Cincinnati, and pulling away, just Stout left the ball. The Bengals were saying it's theirs, but I think there was contact made on the part of the left side of the line with the Bengals.
I think I heard a whistle, too, before all that started. It looked like maybe the offensive line started for that snap.
Apparently, the offensive line movement drew the Bengals off. Whistle blew before the ball was snapped. Options being presented to the Bengals at the moment.
Well, I know you two aren't interested in basketball.
Yes, I am.
But I live in Los Angeles. I'm a big Laker fan, and they made a big trade today.
Let me hear about it.
Ball start.
Yes.
Offense.
What happened to the Lakers?
Well, it seems the Lakers sent down to San Antonio Mr. Norm Nixon and Eddie the Thief of Baghdad Jordan. They picked up a rookie named Byron Scott and Sven Nata, formerly of UCLA.
Oh, I'm glad that. Yeah, that's good to pass this stuff along. You're an investigative reporter also. I think that's terrific.
My friends will be interested in it back home.
Yeah. First down, 15, the Steelers inside their own 33-yard line. Look out, Walter Abercrombie. And Abercrombie tries to get to the right side, and Jim LeClaire, who has missed so much playing time with a bad knee, was up there defensively to make the stop. Getting help from Robert Jackson, who has been the free safety for the Bengals this year. Brian Hicks, who was the regular free safety a year ago on the injured reserve with a knee. Gain of a couple for Abercrombie. It'll be second down and 13. Abercrombie ended tonight a dangerous receiver, averaging well over 20 yards of reception. And, of course, a great running All-American back out of Baylor. Stout will go down inside the 25. The first man there, Gary Boyarski, the nose tackle. Inside the 25, the sack on Stout.
You almost can sense when you see them go back to pass, they're kind of saying, we really don't want to do this, but we read the book, you got to do a little passing too, but they're just not very smooth with their passing game.
All right, the loss is inside the 25, and it'll be third down, and they'll call it 22. And O.J., I think we got our San Antonio fixed up with San Diego.
San Diego, yeah.
L.A. and San Diego, correct?
Hey.
That's close. Both of them have a sand.
Sand.
They're both
good.
south.
Sure.
Third down, 22. Stout blitz again.
Way to go.
Underneath to Franco Harris. And Harris gets some of the yardage back, moving out close to the 34-yard line, but we'll see the punting unit once again, and that means Craig Colquitt for the Steelers.
Well, that's the second time they threw that little delayed pattern to Franco. You would think they'd throw it on first down.
I don't think they got much time to throw anything else from that. They're coming in there pretty good.
As we say, they have a lot of problems on their offensive line, especially the right side where they have a fill-in tackle and a fill-in guard. And maybe a long night for them.
Colquitt counted the heads. They're all there. 10 beside himself. Mike Martin has dropped. You had a quick look at him at the 20-yard line of the Bengals. Colquitt doesn't turn over, and a fair catch is called for, executed at the 25-yard line of the Bengals. So Cincinnati will have their second possession near their own 25-yard line after a punt of some 41 yards by Craig Colquitt. Back in a moment.
Hey, to everyone who tackles the changes and challenges of that new promotion, this bud's for you.
This bud's for you. There's no one else who does it quite the way you do. So here's stop the line!
Wait, I gotta go. Bye.
Can't get this signal here. No problem. You're about to make it. Come on, this bud. Hey, let's have a beer. For all you do, 55 years of coming through.
Yep, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do, this bud's for you.
Sellout crowd. The Bengals are here. Ben Zoo is here. He is a tiger that they keep leading around, too close to comfort, actually. And Cincinnati has a first down and 10. Their second possession. No score in the first quarter. 7:18 remaining. Anderson. They'll throw the ball for you. Isaac Curtis, and Anderson comes right back to the veteran wide receiver who gave it up deep in Steeler territory a short while ago, and Donnie Shell up there defensively for the Steelers after a gain of 7.
Well, that's the third time they've thrown that pattern. They must have found something over there. You think Woodruff is giving him a little cushion?
Well, sometimes they just like to throw to the right. Might be, though. One thing I noticed is how much more time Anderson's got to throw than poor old Cliff on the other side.
It makes a difference.
Alexander, single setback, second down and 3. A pair of tight ends are in. Joining Dan Ross is Emil Harris. Alexander, and he struggles. Out of the 35, he'll get the first down as Jack Lambert is there defensively. Jack Lambert. He plays this game emotionally, wouldn't you say, O.J.?
Yes, he sure does, and it's amazing that he's been able to make the adjustment so well. I've always felt, from 3-4 to a 4-3 to 3-4 defense, I felt that you have less responsibility playing with 4 linebackers than 3, but he's made the adjustment as if he's been playing it his whole career. He's 20 tackles ahead of the nearest guy on his team.
Well, a premature assessment on my part. Alexander short of the first down, and you saw by how much?
So they'll bring in, come on, let's bring Pete Johnson. No, not yet. We're going to save him for the goal line.
Look at that fire drill down there. No kidding. They change people on given situations. Now they have the short yardage. They bring in different folks. And they'll line up in a 4 down front. Lambert. Cole will remain as linebacker. Stanley Wilson joins Charles Alexander as a setback for Cincinnati. 3rd down and inches. Alexander. Hole over the left side, and this time he gets the first down at the 38-yard line. Alexander, of course, through the first 5 games of the season, has been filling in a different position for him, although he does have the size of 225 pounds. But he's been filling in for Pete Johnson while Johnson was under suspension, and, of course, last week when Johnson reported a little heavy.
Actually, maybe more suited to play fullback. We'll talk about that in a bit. A guy with his speed you would see would be a natural halfback.
Blitz for the Steelers. Robin Cole is there. Ball is fumbled. In and out of the hands of Rick Woods. He gets it. He's down the sideline. Rick Woods took the ball. Rodney Tate had it knocked from his hands. The Steelers were in a blitz. Ball came loose, and Rick Woods, coming up from his safety spot, was there. 38-yard touchdown. Steelers on top.
I tell you, this is something for Pittsburgh because they've been controlling the ball in most of the games this year, but they haven't been coming up with the big play. Last week they had one big play from Abercrombie, and let's take a look at this one. This is another big play, and they certainly don't have the offense now to dominate a game like this. They're going to have to come up with more big plays like this if they hope to win.
Whoa, that was
just
good.
tagged.
Was that
Edmund Nelson coming across. Robin Cole had turned Rodney Tate inside. Nelson gave him a pop, and it went into the arms of this man, Rick Woods.
That was a very nice move there.
First professional touchdown.
We were just saying that because as a quarterback, I missed that tackle out there. I saw that.
How many tackles did you make?
I made several. I threw a lot of interceptions.
Gary Anderson makes it 7-0 the Steelers.
People might give you their trust once, but after that, it must be earned. That's why we at Emory are proud to be the overnight delivery service so often relied on to deliver in the clutch.
Not bad. Maybe you could use a little pine tar. Thanks.
Emory, we've earned the trust of American business.
And now, an announcement that can't wait.
We have something to tell you.
You can't keep it a secret any longer.
See, from the very beginning, I knew he was a winner.
I felt the same way. So now it's time for everybody in the world to know.
Burger King has switched to Pepsi.
Burger King and Pepsi. 2 winning tastes.
Together at last?
Together at last.
A Big 8 matchup. Number 1 ranked Nebraska with its tough and unbeaten scoring machine, including Turner Gill, Irving Fryer, and Mike Rozier, take on the Missouri Tigers Saturday on ABC.
Deep for Cincinnati, number 23, Rodney Tate, who just turned the ball over to Rick Woods, who took it in from a 38-yard touchdown. He's back there along with Stanley Wilson. There is Rodney Tate. He'll be looking for the big run back.
Poor Rodney's been starting every game this year. He's only carried the ball 9 times, and I think he'll be lucky to carry it 9 times in the next 5 games after that.
Gary Anderson. And it takes Rodney Tate to the goal line. And Tate. Again, football. I think the whistle might have blown, and the Steelers are saying, no, we've got it.
No, the referee's saying they didn't, so I'm going to go with the referee.
Whistle had blown. It was Hinkle who says that he was the one that got the football. We'll look at it again. A return of 22 yards, but he's really hammered.
You were really hoping that he'd break it after that fumble. He really fumbled the ball.
He really did fumble the ball, didn't he? That thing came out.
He got himself a whistle break.
Hey, that's good. I like that. A whistle break. Hey.
The Bengals down by 7. 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. They have possession inside their own 18-yard line. David Verser now wide receiver for Cincinnati, number 81. Play action again by Anderson. This is Verser. And Verser, a first down up around the 30-yard line in the arms of Jack Lambert. And let's go back to Rodney Tate's fumble. He was placed at first by Robin Cole and then hit by Edmund Nelson.
Nelson's number 64 from his college days as a disc jocker. Watch old Joe Rock just knocked that thing, goes straight up in the air. Woods comes by, picks the thing up. Help him up, help him up.
Now, this is a good move on a quarterback.
It was a good move.
And Anderson's a good athlete, too.
Well,
just a good move by Woods. Near the 30-yard line. First down and 10, Cincinnati. Reverse to David Mercer. Is a lot of speed. But he attracts a lot of Steelers. The first one is Rick Woods. Mercer will get a couple of yards out of it after a lot of exercise.
A pretty good draft with wide receivers. They got Mercer number 1. Was it 79 or 80? And then they had Chris Collinsworth number 2. So they picked up a couple of good ones right there in the college draft.
They really counted on Mercer to be the big man there, and he's had some problems, I guess, picking up the system and reading coverages, but they're counting on him to be a big star in the future.
The Bengals bring it up. They look over, a second down and 8. The ball near the 31-yard line. Rodney Tate, single setback. And Anderson fires. It goes to the tight end, Dan Ross. The flag is down, and Ross is close to first down yardage.
You know what? He met flag. There's a flag down out there, and I should wait till see, but that might have something to do with a little pick move that Isaac Curtis was trying to pull a little defensive back. So, to get Collinsworth inside.
So the Bengals will lose their pickup by Dan Ross.
You know, Gifford used to make that play famous when he'd play. Cornell Green thought that Frank was an offensive tackle for you. He'd come down there and pick him off so many times in the secondary.
And that's why they call it a pick play.
That's
they were
right.
picking Frank up.
And watch, Frank will not deny that either. Look at him, 16, just grinning there. He said, well, maybe I did once or twice.
Offensive pass interference, number 85. Offense.
What an eye, what an eye.
On top of it, Don, let's take a look at it again. I used to do something similar for Joe Walton.
See, he was in motion. They're trying to get Chris inside there, so that was the pick move they're trying to call it. Chris didn't go inside.
I think he saw the flag.
Yeah.
Loss of 10. Loss of 20 if you count the loss of the completion. It's second down and 20. And Kenny Anderson pulling away from the center. He was anticipating the snap. The flags are everywhere, and Anderson very wisely gets to the artificial surface inside the 15.
I saw Dan Ross move a little quick at the end.
I think the snap by Blake Moore just didn't get into the hands. They're going to have a procedure call against Cincinnati. Blake Moore, of course, filling in for Dave Remington, the much talented rookie who has an injured foot. Begins tomorrow night. I already have some of Don's money in my pocket from the playoffs. We're going to be picking up a halftime report tonight from Howard. He's in Baltimore with the rest of our technicians. Philadelphia Phillies, the Graybeards, if you will. And, of course, Baltimore, the perennial powers. So Cincinnati drops 5 more on the procedure call. Forrest Gregg, I think he's having a difficult time figuring out just what has happened to my football team. Chris Collinsworth, of course, was committed 2 years down the line to the USFL, as has the great tight end Dan Ross. But they have both turned in superb seasons thus far. Third down and a bundle.
Look out.
Anderson, and down goes Anderson. It was Keith Gary.
He's going to
flags are down. He might have got his hand on the face mask of Kenny Anderson.
I think he did.
There it is.
Kenny's still down, too.
He got a hold of Kenny Anderson's face mask, yanked him into the end zone. Keith Gary, 6'3", 255, and Anderson is hurt.
Let's take a look at it. You're going to see why they have this rule in. The neck is one of the more vulnerable areas of the body on the field along with the knee, and you snap that head, there's nothing he can do.
Well, he did snap it around, too, didn't he?
I mean, that could really be a serious injury, and Anderson is down. Keith Gary got his hand on the face mask. Almost turned Anderson's head around.
Well, let's hope he's all right. It was a Dick Night Train Lane that literally was the defensive player that led to that rule.
Personal foul, face mask, number 92, first down.
If you would like for it to be.
Yeah, it was Dick that used to run by and grab guys by the face mask, that single bar face mask. I saw him do it at tease our stadium a few times.
You will certainly follow it, I'll tell you that. And there's no question why the rule was put in. Let's look once again. Keith Gary coming in from your left side. Anderson trying to spin out. Anderson, a good running back.
Actually, he was trying to grab the inside of that. He was just trying to grab the inside of that shoulder pad, but it looked like he got a couple of fingers on that face mask and just didn't let go.
Anderson being treated now at the end zone. They have already marked off the assessment against the Steelers, and Keith Gary, the man that is warming up, is Turk Schoenert. Has not played that much in his brief career. Had a great career out at Stanford University.
A lot of those Stanford quarterbacks you see scattered throughout the league, and actually, I guess, I don't know, there's not one starting, though, I don't think, is there?
Steve Dills up in Minnesota.
Steve Dills is in Minnesota now, right?
Jim Plunkett down in.
There you go. See, there I knew you guys were waking up. There's not but 3 or 4 of these guys started. And I guess we've had...
The real concern now etched across the face to Forrest Gregg is for the well-being, actually, of his quarterback, Kenny Anderson. That's where we'll be a week from tonight. Washington again with a victory over St. Louis.
Well, they were impressive.
Weren't they?
They're really playing some good football. I love it. You know, you get the Redskins and teams like the Raiders, and those two teams in particular seem like they play with that old-time enthusiasm. They got a bunch of guys that are kind of really having a lot of fun playing, and it's showing up in that one-loss record.
Well, they get down to the basics.
They seem like they're really
big guys. They put the big guy on the big guy, and they go after one another.
Well, they continue to work on Kenny Anderson. Let's take a look at the Washington Redskins yesterday. Let's pick up the action as it took place in the third quarter. Joe Theismann having another great day. At this point, the Redskins are ahead 24-7. This is the tight end, Rick Walker, is usually the motion man for the Redskins. That made it 31-7 Washington. And now at 31-14, the fourth quarter, well, guess who? The big man rumbling. Where does he go? The left side, just as he did in the Super Bowl. Third touchdown on the day for John Riggins. This one from 15 yards out. Washington going on to beat St. Louis 38-14. And, of course, they stay one game behind the undefeated Dallas Cowboys with a 5-1 record. Dallas, of course, 6-0.
Isn't it amazing? You look at Big Riggins. He's the oldest back in football. He's having maybe his best year. You look at Franco Harris is right near the oldest back in football, and he's having his finest year.
Do you think these guys
should come back?
Are they taking, I don't mean this facetiously, but maybe they're taking better care of themselves, off-season work and stuff like that than maybe what we did a few years ago?
Well, I don't think you can just start this at the end of your career. If you look at Franco, he's always been a guy who's taken good care of himself. Riggins always been a guy who's taken care of himself, and I think it's something that just happens over the years. You know, guys like you and I, you know, we're out there dissipating all the time.
No.
As Kenny Anderson gets up, one of the problems, Don, you might remember when we were in Cleveland, Kenny Anderson was playing with a very stiff neck. I'm not so sure that they didn't just now put the collar on, but when we were at him a couple of weeks ago in Cleveland, he'd been hurt against Buffalo.
That's right.
Could hardly move his head at the time. So I think he's aggravated, actually, an injury from that Buffalo game several weeks ago.
Actually, Tony Dungy, who was coaching the defensive backs for Pittsburgh, mentioned that to me today, that they didn't think Anderson was picking up his second receiver well, and he thought the stiff neck was hurting Anderson's ability to hit that back out of the backfield. He didn't turn well. He hit that back swinging out of the backfield.
We will try to get a detailed report on the condition of Ken Anderson. He has come off the field walking, but with a neck brace around his neck, and into the ball game comes Turk Schoenert, fourth-year man out of Stanford. He's 6'1", 190. You saw his numbers a while ago. 7 of 13, no touchdowns, no interceptions. And that was in a fill-in role when Anderson was hurt against Buffalo earlier in the year.
Well, you really hate to see that. That's one of those things. A lot of things can go wrong with that old neck. How about your spine?
Yeah, you can see what John Goodman got his fingers in there because he has a couple of big finger scratches right on that other side of his face.
Underway again. We will try and get a detailed report on the condition of Ken Anderson. First down and 10 following the penalty, and this is Alexander on the left side. Big opening in Alexander, taken out of bounds up near the 20-yard line by Rick Woods. There'll be a gain of about 5. And it'll be second down and 5.
We're talking about Anderson being more suited for fullback. Here's a guy who runs a 9.200, and he runs about a 4.440, and he doesn't look fast. You know,
Alexander?
some guys have speed on the field, and some guys don't. You look at Franco Harris, who really doesn't look like he's a speed burner, but he's a breakaway runner. You very rarely see Franco get caught. Anderson, I see him get caught a lot. Not that he gets open that much.
Second down and 5 for the Bengals. 3:05 remaining in the first quarter. The Steelers on top 7-0. Anderson has gone to the locker room. Here comes Alexander. Right side again. Short of the first down. Out close to the 28-yard line.
Boy, he hasn't changed his expression very much. He hates to anticipate, but it doesn't look too good, does it?
And we have another flag down on the field as Anderson is being taken in the golf cart inside, I presume, where x-rays will be taken.
Well, they've had a lot of things that's gone wrong for them this year. The injuries we've talked about, plus they just haven't won any ball games. So something like this could cause a little letdown by those Bengals.
Offsides, number 78, offense, still second down.
Anthony Munoz over the left side, offside for Cincinnati. And that
good-looking kid
moves the ball back inside the 15-yard line where it'll be second down and 11. Eastern time zone, little man. You ought to be thinking about rumbling on home for a little nap. Kurt Schoenert, the quarterback now for the Bengals. Former NCAA passing champion back in '79 at Stanford. Looks over the second down and 11, draws the blitz, and goes to Chris Collinsworth. And Collinsworth short of the first down out over the 21-yard line. Rick Wood, Ron Johnson defensively. And when you got a young, inexperienced quarterback such as Schoenert, he's going to see a lot of blitzes.
Well, he's going to see, this is not the best game for him to be coming in because Pittsburgh gives you so many different looks defensively. They move guys around. You'll see them bring Bob Coors in, number 90. They play him like A.J. Dewey. They try to move him around the line. He rushes. He drops back for passes. And not the best game for a young quarterback to be coming in.
And, of course, the other thing, he does not work that much during the week when Kenny Anderson was looking at the different Pittsburgh defensive sets. So he's on the spot, and he's down 7-0 in the first quarter. Kurt Schoenert. Third down and 3. Schoenert. Oh, yeah. Dumps it out to Alexander, and Alexander gets the first down yardage plus out to the 33-yard line before he's hit by Rick Woods.
That was a good play. I like that. That was kind of an unusual pass pattern. He had his wide receivers and setbacks all dragging in toward the middle, and here comes Alexander out of the backfield. A little swing pass, not terribly difficult to complete. Picked up his first down.
Alexander.
You said they're not difficult to complete. It's amazing. When I played ball, how many quarterbacks really couldn't pop that ball out there? They put it behind the runner, let him a little too much.
It is true. I should take that back, as I've said many times. That's one of the most difficult passes to complete because you're judging a different kind of gait, different speed from that receiver coming out of the backfield.
The first down, just over the 32-yard line of the Bengals. Schoenert. Yeah, I'll show you. I'll go to Collinsworth deep. No flag. Collinsworth wanted one as he worked against Mel Blount. It could have been Collinsworth going down right where the pitcher's mound is covered by the artificial surface here at Riverfront Stadium. That's where he was tripped up.
But Schoenert threw a good pass. I think if the ball would have been inside a little more, Collinsworth would have had a chance for it. Now, Collinsworth would like for that ball to be on his 8 side there. And you see it, the ball is a little outside, and Blount has position there, and he can't get back outside to get the ball.
And Blount has been positioning himself well for many years. 14 to be exact. Kenny Anderson, what we have heard thus far, has a bruised neck. X-rays will be taken. Hopefully we'll know more later. Second down and 10. Tate in motion. Schoenert had to get it away quickly because he was under pressure from Jack Lambert.
If you're going to miss him on that side because Chris was pretty well covered anyway, and I think Turk probably saw that. Looks like he's talking to Chris. Maybe they had a little mix-up. That Lambert is everywhere, isn't he?
He is. You know, you see him. He's tall, but he's almost like a wide receiver in body build. He's 6'4", 220, but looks almost frail.
I know when I first played him, I said, this guy cannot be playing in the middle. He's so thin in the hips, you know, and in his waist. But he reads offenses so well, he just plays good all around football.
Third down and 10. Looking tough. Alexander, the single setback. Blitz again. There's Gary. Keith Gary, the one who manhandled Ken Anderson earlier, was in there defensively. Gary, the #1 draft pick of the Steelers in '81, who went up to Canada for a couple of years in Montreal, came back this year as a free agent, and he has tremendous speed and size. A great pass rusher, Keith Gary. That'll bring up the 4th down punting unit. Scansey has dropped for the Steelers, and we'll watch Pat McAnally for the first time tonight with 1:35 remaining in the first quarter. There is Scansey.
Gary and Goodman, both Oklahoma fellas, reunited here in that defensive line for the Steelers. They're happy to have them.
McAnally has to hurry it. Low, doesn't turn over. Scansey will bring it back. Not far. To the 43-yard line. Good coverage by a hustling special team of the Cincinnati Bengals. A punt of 39 yards, 2-yard return. Steelers on top, 7-0. They have good field position. Sellout crowd here at Riverfront Stadium. We want to remind you, college football, it'll come to you live Saturday at 3:30 Eastern Time here on ABC. This will be a beauty. Nebraska getting it on with Missouri. Nebraska, of course, on a 16-game winning streak. The longest major college football winning streak in the nation. Of course, they have that great running back, Mike Rozier, who's leading the nation in rushing. Nebraska, Missouri this Saturday here on ABC.
I thought SMU had that streak.
Stout tries to get it to Abercrombie. Did he trap it? No, they say that Abercrombie has made spectacular catches all year. Made a legal catch at the 30-yard line of Cincinnati.
That's part of that Baylor connection that the Steelers seem to have. 4 players from Baylor, and Walter's one of them, and he's really having a good year. Seems to be shaking up a little bit on that last reception.
Yes, he's giving them something that they haven't had. Let's take a look at it from the reverse angle. He gives them a breakaway threat from that halfback position. The last 3 weeks, he's had 3 touchdown passes in each game, and he really did a real good job there. Made a real nice catch.
Concentration by Abercrombie. The first down at the 30-yard line. Franco Harris surging behind the front offensive line of the Steelers. A gain of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. And with each yard that Franco Harris picks off, he draws ever closer to that incredible mark set by Jim Brown of 12,312 yards. The incredible part of it, he did it in 9 years.
Yes, the strange thing is some of the shortcomings that the Steelers have right now with their problems with their wide receivers may work out better personally for Franco because they got to rely on him a little more. He's going to have to run the ball a little more, and most backs would like to get that work. They like to get the ball, a lot of time.
Give me the ball. Give me the ball.
Well, 7-0 Pittsburgh. We'll be back in a moment.
Here comes the hottest selling Chevrolet today. The fun-to-drive front-drive Cavalier. Fire up 2 liters of electronically fuel-injected fun and experience more horsepower than the top 3 imports. The minute you feel Cavalier perform, you'll know what makes Cavalier the hottest selling Chevrolet today. Chevrolet! And you. Taking charge.
Over the years, a beautiful relationship has blossomed between secretaries and their IBM typewriters. Now there's the IBM Electronic 85, the finest IBM electronic typewriter ever. With automatic erasing, pages of memory, proportional spacing, and a keyboard full of features that help make a secretary's job a lot easier.
It's beautiful.
This Bud's for everyone who's got the heart and courage to go the distance.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. This Bud's for you.
Second quarter action coming up. Riverfront Stadium. Sellout crowd for the Steelers and the Bengals. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Don't believe what I told
trying
that.
to move in to a first place tie with Cleveland in the AFC Central Division. They can do so with a win tonight. Right now, the Steelers led by Cliff Stout as we begin the second quarter, looking over a second down and 6. The ball at the 26-yard line of the Bengals. The Steelers on top 7-0. Stout dodged the bullet, and he can run. Spots the first down marker, and he'll get the first down inside the 20. Eddie Edwards went right by his head.
Smart man.
Missed the sack.
Get out of bounds. Good going, Cliff.
Let's take a look at the first quarter numbers. Cincinnati with a couple of turnovers. One of them turned into a 38-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown run. They have an edge in yardage, an edge in ball control, but they trail by 7-0. Cliff Stout brings up the Steelers. Greg Garrity, a rookie from Penn State, one wide receiver, top of your screen. That's Frank Pollard, right side. He's in the arms of Ross Browner, who was reinstated last week, or after the fourth game, and he did play on passing downs considerably last week.
There's Greg Hawthorne, and with the hat, Stallworth. Two guys Pittsburgh sorely missed. If they want to go anywhere this year, they're going to have to get at least one of these guys back.
Yeah. That's their regular wide receiver, Stallworth.
But that's the Hawthorne without the hat. And you talk about a big receiver.
And a great threat when he catches it.
Those guys from Baylor.
Pollard got a couple. Second down and 8. Good coverage by the Bengals. Wayne Capers, a rookie from Kansas. Double coverage. Ken Riley, the principal man back there, who's playing with a pulled hamstring, but he had help from Louis Breeden as Cincinnati rolled their two cornerbacks over to the right side.
Yeah, I think Stout, after he threw the ball, realized he may have went to the wrong man.
Well, he was certainly double covered. But, you know, they talk about Stout. He's been around for a long time, and Chuck Noll was talking to him this morning. He said that's not the difference. The deal is he hasn't played much, and you still got to get out there and play. So he's not picking things up very quickly.
I guess not. He qualified for the NFL pension without ever having thrown a pass. 56 games, he did not even see action. With Bradshaw out, he's on the line, however, this season. Third down and 8.
Not a good one.
And not a well-thrown ball, but nevertheless, Greg Garrity well covered. And it would have been a little hazardous had Stout tried to get it in.
Stout comes from one of your basic major colleges. He followed Ron Jaworski over at Youngstown State. And Jaworski had a lot of records over there. And right here, I see it right there. He came from, see right there. It says so right there. And he broke a lot of Jaworski's records.
Sure does.
See, those things are important.
Here's Greg Anderson. 35-yard attempt. Or Gary Anderson. 10 of 12 this year. With now 8 in a row for Pittsburgh. Gary Anderson now has 9 in a row. And the Steelers have a 10-0 lead over the Cincinnati Bengals. Early moments of the second quarter. We'll be back to Riverfront Stadium in a moment. Gary Anderson good from 35 yards out. The Steelers on top 10-0. Deep. Stanley Wilson, number 32. There he is, a rookie 9th round pick out of Oklahoma. David Verser is also back there, number 81. Verser, of course, with the great speed, the kind of speed that could break it open. And Anderson, one would suspect, would try to get this ball to Wilson. But he doesn't. This will be David Verser from his own end zone. And Verser dances a little, looks for the opening. Explodes out over the 20, where he's met there by David Little. It'll be first down and 10, the Bengals at their 23-yard line.
Well, Don, see, this was my kind of game. You know, I certainly hope Anderson is all right, but
yeah,
for a running back, you know, you got the best quarterbacks on around. One's in the locker room, wherever Terry is, some at home. Hey, let's put the ball on the ground and let's separate the men from those guys, those finesse players.
Oh,
you know?
okay. All right. Well, let's give it to them then. Let's let them run.
The quarterback remains Kurt Schoenert for the Cincinnati Bengals. If you joined us late, Kenny Anderson went to the locker room for an X-ray of his neck after being sacked by Keith Gary. This is Alexander, right side, and Alexander is met right at the line of scrimmage rather severely by Lauren Taves. Mike Merriweather also there defensively for the Steelers. Steelers shuffle those defensive people. We touched on at the top of the show. They'll bring in some new folks right now because it's 2nd down and 10. It's a good blitz down for the Steelers. 2nd and long. Keith Gary comes in. Keith Willis comes in the defensive line. The linebackers come out except for Jack Lambert, and Rick Woods comes in as the 5th defensive back. Near the 23-yard line, 2nd down and 10. Schoner has the time, fires, it's complete. Taken by Dan Ross, who had the first down yardage out over the 35-yard line. Ron Johnson there defensively. I'd like to wish a happy 30th anniversary to KRDO in Colorado Springs. Also a happy 30th anniversary on the air and 23 years as an ABC affiliate to WTVM in Columbus, Georgia. And a happy 25th anniversary on the air and as an ABC affiliate to WJRT in Flint, Michigan. All of our pals along the line that bring you these football games.
And happy birthday to anybody that's having one today.
On first down, Schoner back once again. Schoner can't find a receiver, and Schoner takes a hammering by Mike Merriweather after a gain of a couple.
I don't think that was a good decision, Turk. Turk was trying to get somebody to go deep. Turk, don't do that sort of stuff. That's Jack Lambert in the middle. That's Ross coming out. This might be one reason why Turk was... Hey, Ross will go get him first. Well, Lambert's trying to give him some trouble in there, isn't he?
Well, he's doing something. He looked like he checked him a little more than 5 yards downfield.
Yeah.
Schoner got 3 yards out of it. He took quite a hammering, and the smattering of boos and cheers is for Pete Johnson, who has come into the game. Of course, suspended for the first 4 games. He's a big one. Maybe bigger than Forrest Gregg would like, but nevertheless, he's in the lineup. And Schoner on the very first play, Bulls over the 42-yard line does Pete Johnson for a gain of 2. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 5. Lambert and Edmund Nelson there defensively for the Steelers.
I was reading and talking to some of the Pittsburgh people when they used to play Cincinnati, and Pete was in there. They'd have to get defensive linemen to come in and run the plays for something. They didn't have anybody that big.
How would you like to be a 180-pound safety coming up, looking at a guy 260 pounds, about a foot and a half off the ground?
Even Lambert says, man, I don't believe. He says, yeah, if you tackle him, he said, yeah, about 30 or 40 times. He said, every time I hit him, I always hoped somebody else was coming quickly to help.
There's that change in personnel for the Steelers on 3rd down and 5. Schoner fires, and it's complete. It goes to Isaac Curtis, and he has first down yardage, and he is hustled back by about 7 yards, but he was up close to midfield for the first down.
I think Schoner's going to take another pretty good lick this time from Keith Willis. I believe it is, number 8.
No, I think it's Harvey Clayton, the cornerback. They're doing everything.
You're right. I thought it was 93. Turned out to be 33. But he let him have it. 93 was close. I
think everybody was in the area. The way Pittsburgh's playing defense now.
A safety blitz for the Steelers, and Schoner reads it very calmly, gets the ball to Isaac Curtis, first down at midfield. Action here in the 2nd quarter. Steelers on top 10-0. Play action by Schoner. Looking for Collingsworth, and he made a great move on the cornerback. He gets the first down at the 25-yard line. And Donnie Shell has no right to be trying to work with Chris Collinsworth. As great as Shell has been, Collinsworth has just too much speed for him.
Let's take a look at it. It looks like he's running a deep end. This is a nice move. You see how he got upfield? He almost got by 2 guys when he came down. He's a guy who's always conscious of where he is and where the defender is.
He brought the 2 defenders, too. That's Blunt on one side, Shell on the inside.
Now, he's thinking about running. See, he's not thinking about getting hit. Here's a guy thinking about running.
He's a player. 25-yard line. First down, Cincinnati. Pete Johnson, left side, and look at Pete Johnson.
That's what I'm talking about. Rock'em, sock'em football.
Johnson gets about 7 yards, all on his own, using tremendous size and strength. And we're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves.
WLS-TV, Chicago.
P. Johnson, who came back after his suspension at 273 pounds, down to about 271. has picked up 6 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 4. The ball inside the Steelers' 20-yard line. Inside handoff after a fake to Johnson, and this is Rodney Tate. And Tate breaks for big yardage and another 1st down close to the 12-yard line.
I sure hope Tate breaks one today.
Yeah.
I don't like to see those backs playing the whole game thinking about a fumble that may cost them the game.
Certainly not. Just pick it up and go. I can't believe you like to see those backs run over people. You never like to run over anybody.
Oh, no. I don't weigh 270 pounds either. Give him a little okey doke, a little this, a little that. Yeah.
Jive, man. Let's jive him.
Turk Shonut came in under tremendous pressure, has not played hardly at all. In his 4 years, he hasn't played that much. Kenny Anderson, very durable, out of this game, however. And Shonut is moving the Bengals. They started at their own 23-yard line. Shonut, 5 of 7, 64 yards thus far. E. Johnson. Whoa! Boo! Look at him, Peter! Peter Johnson down close to another 1st down near the 2.
Hey, Big P was looking for somebody to run over. He couldn't find a Stiller to run over at one point. Let's take a look at this.
Oh,
on the ground.
Marion Motley, where are you?
Hey, look at him. He's looking for somebody to run over right here. Where are you? Where are you? Give me somebody.
he is a big one, isn't it? Boom.
We'll need a seismic graph to record his yardage.
270.
Inside the 2-yard line, 1st down, goal to go. And Pete Johnson has brought this crowd to life.
Now, here's where they've been having their problems. Here's where they say they miss him the most.
The fans saying Pete, seems like I'm hearing.
Boom. Oh, and this time he goes down. Lambert took him where he should, down low, up into him.
That's where I would have taken him. Right around the shoelaces.
I would have taken him only if I had a pal to come along with me.
I tell you what, he hadn't played in a while. He's carrying a few extra pounds. He's going to be breathing hard when he come out of this drive.
We want Pete. You got him.
2nd down, goal to go. This is where the Bengals, one area they've been troubled, getting the short yardage plays to function for them. They've got their big man back, and they give it to him one more time, and Johnson right in there close to the goal line, because they're going to mark it about a foot short.
Say, those Steelers are hanging tough, aren't they?
Oh, I tell you.
They're hanging tough in there.
This is my kind of football. Let's take a look at it again. Johnson, they're running what looks like just a 4 drive. He's to follow his halfback right in there. This is where I thought they made a mistake in the Super Bowl a few years ago. I thought instead of him carrying it when he was stopped on the goal line, they should have used that 250 or 60 pounds to lead Alexander in the hole.
It was Dwayne Woodruff, 49, a cornerback, who met him first, and he did a pretty good job of holding his ground.
3rd down, goal to go. The Bengals trail 10-0. Johnson goes over left side. The Bengals got a touchdown out of Pete Johnson in his very first series of plays back.
3rd time's the charm.
Well, you just knew they were going to keep giving it to him, and if they didn't make it, then they're just not going to make it.
I used to love it down on that goal line where everybody's digging in. I say, give it to Braxton.
Smart.
I'll tell you, when Pete Johnson gets all that body moving, if you know anything about physics, mass, velocity.
I do. I know a lot about that.
You just don't want to be a safety.
Yeah, well, that's right.
I bet he's looking for the oxygen now, though.
Gembry for the conversion. Sider does the holding for Cincinnati. As the Bengals attempt to draw to within 3, and they do so. New football game from Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. The Bengals on the scoreboard. They trail the Pittsburgh Steelers 10-7.
How about that great investment?
Well, my broker's E.F. Hutton. And E.F. Hutton says,
when E.F. Hutton talks, people listen.
Bring out your past.
I wasn't drafted till the 7th round. They don't even know my name.
The best.
Schroeder, huh?
It has a taste all its own. Enjoy it.
Phillies and the Orioles, two great clubs who meet for the first time, battle for baseball's greatest prize. The World Series begins tomorrow on ABC.
The big man on the Bengals drive, along with their quarterback, Turk Schoner, is Pete Johnson. Henry puts it in the air. And Tim Harris, the rookie from Washington State, is there at the 4-yard line. Good coverage by the special teams that had just been given a fired-up speech on the sidelines by head coach Forrest Gregg. The Steelers have the ball back, and we'll be back in a moment.
Chevy Truck is taking charge. Are you tough enough to make it with the U.S. Army? Chevy Trucks are. The Army contracted for 53,000 tough, full-size Chevy pickups and Blazers. These rugged four-wheel drives are regular production vehicles powered by the proven 6.2-liter diesel V8. Need a truck as tough as the U.S. Army's? Just sign up at your Chevy dealers today. Chevy Truck is taking charge.
Gym Pack. Professional exercises at home. DP, fit for life.
For life, for life. DP.
My turn.
Wednesday, First Lady Nancy Reagan and our special drug abuse program on Good Morning America.
They don't necessarily like to be this clinical, but the x-rays have been taken of Ken Anderson's neck. They apparently have been brought out onto the field where the doctors remained during the course of the game. And we will try to get a more definitive word on the extent of Ken Anderson's injury. The Steelers, first down and 10 with Cliff Stout going all the way as he has all season in relief of the injured Terry Bradshaw. Looking over first down and 10. Franco Harris with a nifty little move. And, of course, the question on a lot of people's mind, particularly Steelers fans, will Bradshaw be back this year? And there's a question that we put to him earlier.
Well, I expect to be back. It's a slow process getting the arm back into game shape. I can throw now, which would be good for sandlot ball, but I can't throw competitive. I'm restricted right now. I don't have the pain that I had. I'm virtually zero pain, no pain at all. And what I'm doing is strengthening it now and strengthening it the proper way. And it has responded in the last 10 days. It's been tremendous. I've almost tripled the arm strength. And with the greatest signs, the fact that I can go out and throw and have no pain at all, other than muscle fatigue from all the exercises that I do prior to throwing. So I'm encouraged by that, and with that, I would say that I'm going to play this year. When, I don't know, but I definitely feel like I'll play.
Terry Bradshaw talking about his future for this year. Third down and 5 now for the man that's filling in, Cliff Stout. Stout fires and it's complete. Louis Breeden there defensively as Wayne Capers, the rookie from Kansas, comes down with his first NFL reception.
That was a good move, I thought, by Stout that time. He didn't really have anybody open until he made that little move to the outside, and Capers opened up to the inside.
Well, you take a good look at Capers, he looks like a clone of Stallworth. I mean, he looks exactly like him in uniform. He runs like him. And I know the Steelers hope he end up playing like him.
If he can catch like him, they got a deal, right?
First down and 10 for the Steelers. They have a 3-point lead, 3:35 remaining in the first half, and this is Frank Pollard out on the right side, and he's up close to first down yardage.
One of those situations where the Bengals helped him pick up some extra yardage that time. Pollard is kind of an all-purpose football player. He can play that outside slot that you saw right there. He plays both the backs. He's one of those all-purpose utility. They want to try to make another Rocky Blyer. We're trying to get all these older players back into their uniforms so they can win more Super Bowls, right?
Listening to the words of Terry Bradshaw, it might be providential, the injury, but when the Steelers lost all those receivers, I'll tell you, it makes it tough to get the completions. This is Pollard left side, and Pollard gets into Cincinnati territory, gain of 6. Before Ross Browner is there defensively, big number 79 for the Bengals.
I sure hope Terry does get healthy, can play. I've enjoyed watching him play for a number of years. Terry was the one that said, really, I read an article in the newspaper, he's talking about the difficulty that Stout was having. And he said it's just he thought he could help the young receivers a little bit more than Stout, and that was maybe the only area he thought that he could improve on by being there. He says these guys have a little more confidence in him.
Second down and 4. Harris, the single setback.
Look out.
Stout under a lot of pressure. Spins and gets away from Eddie Edwards, but fires incomplete. It'll be third down and 4.
Well, Stout showed a lot of poise that time.
Well, it just looked like it from up here. If you'd been in there where he was, there wasn't no poise.
It's hard to
Eddie Edwards, give me a break. Get away from me, Eddie.
Eddie is leading the league after 5 games, tied with Miami's Doug Betters. He had 8 individual sacks in the first 5 games. And of course, he annually leads the Bengals in sacks. Big defensive left end. Eddie Edwards for Cincinnati. He'll be coming back on this one because it's third down and 4, and Stout is in the passing situation. Bengals showing blitz all the way. They drop out of it.
Did he catch
out? That's Calvin Sweeney. No, they're saying he never controlled it.
Well, I thought he did.
I think he was probably bobbling it all the way. Defensively, back there with him was Louis Breeden.
Yeah, at one point it looked like both of them had the ball, were fighting for it. Let's take a look at it on the end zone. Sweeney's having a tough year right now. He has 2 fractured thumbs. He's had a bad hip.
Well, we might be able to see that on a reverse angle, and it looked as though he caught it from here, our viewpoint. But when you see the reverse angle, you can see he never did control it, I think.
You think?
I don't think he ever did.
Well, neither did that referee down there.
Fourth down. Colquitt out for the Steelers. He angles for the corner, but he hangs it high. Fair catch called for by Mike Martin, and then he backs away from it, and it takes a Steeler bounce inside the 15-yard line.
It looked like he was hit.
You know,
Didn't it look like he got hit?
Yeah, I did, but I wonder if he had not given his fair catch signal before he got hit. Not that that would make any difference, I don't guess, though, would it?
Well, he was running upfield rather fast. Let's take a look at it.
He gave the fair catch indication right there. Got hit by his own man, who was knocked into him.
That's what it was.
There will be no flag, no penalty, and Cincinnati, trailing by 3 with 1:53 remaining in the first half, will take over at their own 13-yard line. They have 2 timeouts.
We weren't planning to go to Midas on our honeymoon, but we didn't have much choice. The brakes on my old Camaro were making a terrible noise, so we pulled into Midas and showed them my guarantee.
Now you're Pat Fitzsimmons?
I am. Used to be. Midas fixed the brakes right away, and because of the guarantee, the brake shoes were free. I guess something always goes wrong on your wedding day. It's a good thing we could go to Midas.
Trust the Midas touch.
Michelob Light for the winners this time, huh?
Oh, you enjoy being buried in the sand.
Michelob Light for the winners.
Would good friends really play this hard for a beer? Well, it is Michelob Light, the rich, smooth taste you can compare to any beer you like.
Michelob Light for the winners.
Ah, the sea, the sun, the sand.
The check.
The check.
That's Hall of Famer Forrest Gregg, the head coach of the Bengals, with his back to you. Former great tackle with the Green Bay Packers, where he participated in so many of their championship games, and as a Super Bowl member of the Dallas Cowboys late in his career.
Standout for the Silver Springs Wildcats.
The Bengals have a first down and 10 at their own 13-yard line. Frank Gifford, along with O.J. Simpson and Don Meredith. Howard in Baltimore for the beginning of the World Series tomorrow night. We'll hear from him at halftime. Charles Alexander, single setback now for Kirk Schonert. And this is Alexander. Good, strong running by Alexander. Hit at the line of scrimmage, and he scratches out 4. It'll be second down and 6. And speaking of the World Series, that's our schedule. It'll begin tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern, followed by the game Wednesday. There'll be a travel day on Thursday. They don't go very far, of course. Have to meet the Graybeards in Philadelphia. Then Friday and Saturday. And if necessary, Game 5 on Sunday. And travel day on Monday, followed by games on Tuesday and Wednesday, if necessary. The Phillies and the Orioles.
I think it'll be necessary.
Has to waste another timeout. Or rather, Turk Schonert. Either not liking his personnel or the defense. They are down to one timeout.
Now Avis has the fastest way for you to return your car and get this record of your rental charges without waiting at the counter. I'll prove it. Our new Avis Rapid Return is as easy to use as your pocket calculator. You just punch in your car number, your mileage, your gas gauge reading. In less than a minute, out comes a record of your rental charges. Try our new Avis Rapid Return. It's another Avis first. It's fast, it's easy, and it's only at Avis.
Blue GT8, this is Army 212, 7 miles northwest, low fuel, heavy weather.
Army 212, radar contact, turn right, heading 150.
With a fog-bound helicopter hanging on your every word, it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman, only that you're good.
Slowly.
Roger.
Overlanding threshold.
Be all that you can be.
Thanks for your help.
Roger.
You can do it in the Army.
1:16 on the scoreboard clock remaining in the first half. The Bengals down by 3 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. A loss by the Bengals tonight. Well, they could start dreaming of next year, one would suspect. They're 1-4 in this young season. The Pittsburgh Steelers are 3-2. The Bengals, with Kenny Anderson out of the game. His x-rays, by the way, negative.
That's good news.
Turk Schonert, the quarterback, looking over a 2nd down and 5. The ball at his own 18-yard line. Alexander dances back to the inside, pecks out a couple. It'll be 3rd down and a long 2 as Lauren Taves was there defensively in the crowd, booing somewhat. I think they wanted to see Schonert go up on the top. Timeout once again, 1:07 remaining in the half. We'll be back after this message from the National Football League. Stay with us.
I'm in the same league with Joe Montana and Ken Anderson.
When your kids join the NFL Super Pro Club, they're in the club that's part of the NFL, and they get a lot of surprises through the year, like the official Super Pro ID card from their favorite team, and this T-shirt transfer, the NFL Trivia Book, decals of their favorite team, newsletters full of inside information, their favorite team's photo, Bengals, Niners, the great NFL Fun Book, Touch Football Booklet, Sideline Saucer, an NFL standings board where members can track their favorite team to the Super Bowl. It's all worth much more than the $6 membership fee. Your kids will love to join. Send name, address, name a favorite team, and a $6 check or money order to Super Pro, Box 9000, Trenton, New Jersey, 08650.
And your kids can be in the same league with that.
The preceding announcement brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. The Bengals have no timeouts remaining. One is indicated on the scoreboard clock, but we've been counting them. They have a 3rd down and 2. The ball at their own 21-yard line. Alexander cannot get outside. Taken there by Mike Merriweather, who's turned in a whale of a linebacking job already this evening.
No Donnie Shell. He's not too far behind either, was he?
Flag down.
Timeout.
Pittsburgh, of course, using one of their timeouts because Pittsburgh wants the football back. They still have 58 seconds remaining.
Hey.
We'll be bringing you some of the highlights from yesterday. First of all, let's take a look at what happened at Giant Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. The Giants have beaten the Eagles 4 straight times. Here's action in the first quarter. Scott Bruner, the quarterback for the Giants, to score 0-0 at this point. And Bruner, big, tall, lanky quarterback, looks for the free agent tight end, Zeke Moat. And Zeke Moat picked up a 21-yard gain, and rookie Ali Haji Sheikh came in to put 3 points on the board. And action now in the third quarter. The Eagles on top 7-6. Jaworski having a good year, back looking for an exceptional fine receiver, Mike Quick. And he hit Quick for 18 yards. Quick's second touchdown of the day. Ron Jaworski doing a good job for Marion Campbell, who have those Eagles playing once again. They beat the Giants 17-13. As we look at Cincinnati, Pat McAnally will go back and pick up the rest of that action in a moment. Scansey is back for the Steelers. Good kick by McAnally. He takes Scansey all the way back to his 37 where he bobbles the ball and falls quickly upon it. 48 seconds now remain for the Steelers. Mike Quick is on the receiving end of this pass from Jaworski, and he's having a tremendous year. He caught 6 for the day, and his 4th and 5th touchdowns of the season. Great diving catch by Mike Quick. Second year out of North Carolina State, right up there among the leaders. Philadelphia again over the Giants 17-13. Philadelphia going 4-2, and as I said, Marion Campbell keeping the Eagles in it in the NFC East. Close to the Redskins at 5-1, and the Cowboys at 6-0. Pittsburgh has 2 timeouts. They have a 3-point lead. And they have good field position. Their own 38-yard line. They can be a little chancy here. And they have used too much time getting the ball into play, so they'll be backed up 5 yards.
It's not really how you execute your 2-minute offense.
No,
you can call for delay of the game. Cliff, it'll come. It's all right. It's on its way.
Yeah, those are, quite frankly, and taking nothing away from Cliff Stout. He's been around 7 years, hasn't played that much. Terry Bradshaw would have been in that huddle, fired up, chewing on people. And he would have been coming out frothing at the mouth looking for more points.
I think if you can get a good, experienced quarterback that can come in there and call plays very quickly, you'd eliminate a lot of this special substitution stuff that's going on. Just get them in and out of that huddle.
You mean force the defense to play with the people they have on the field.
That's right.
First down, 15.
That
Stout, and that's picked off.
Gone.
Jim Griffin, the nickelback. Jim Griffin, the rookie from Middle Tennessee, stepped right in front of Benny Cunningham down the sidelines, and we've got a new leader in this game. The Bengals have come back from a 10-point deficit. 41-yard return of the interception by Jim Griffin.
You could see him winding up. Stout telegraphed that pass, and Griffin started running.
I mean, he had a running start. I mean,
he really did.
Coming 5-8 yards back. Well, that's 2 touchdowns by the defense.
Hey, even it up.
Tied 7-7 as far as the defensive units are concerned.
I'll tell you, you called it exactly right, because Cliff Stout was waiting and watching for Benny Cunningham to uncover a linebacker. And Jim Griffin, who was really deep in that prevent defense, put on his track shoes, took a run at it of about 15 yards, and he picked it up in dead stride.
He really did.
Reach for the conversion. The Bengals have dramatically turned this one around. The Bengals go out on top. Good football fans in Cincinnati. Sellout crowd tonight. The team coming into the game with a 1-4 mark.
Let's see if we can see Cliff. He's coming back looking. He glanced a little bit to his left. But right there, he's zeroing in. Franco's out in front of him. And he's coming in from the back. Timed that one well, didn't he?
Here comes Griffin, 6'2", 197-pounder, a 7th-round draft pick out of Middle Tennessee. And Cliff Stout, good athlete, not even close. 36 seconds remain.
Didn't play it any better than that.
So the Steelers, who took a timeout when Cincinnati was faced with the 4th down so they could get the football back, got it back. They promptly got a delay of the game on a 1st and 15. It was Stout firing to the tight end. Cunningham picked off by Jim Griffin for the touchdown. And Cincinnati continues to bedevil the Pittsburgh Steelers. They've won 4 of the last 5 games they played. The last time the Steelers have won here goes back to 1978.
And you wonder if one man can make a difference. You wonder about this team. They're a great football team, Cincinnati. A lot of personnel. They missed Pete Johnson. He made a token appearance. Well, not really a token appearance, and this team has been playing like a Super Bowl team since.
Breach along the ground. And lateral by Donnelly. trying to get it to one of his skill men.
I think he was trying to keep him getting some bumps.
To take it.
Yeah, he don't want to get hit.
That way verifies what they said about Donnelly. He was a Phi Beta Kappa in college. That guy's smart.
Donnelly to Odom, and the Steelers with 30 seconds have the football. Good field position. They're out over their own 35-yard line. And they have 2 timeouts remaining. Remind you again, we'll have some more highlights for you at halftime. And, of course, Howard's report from Baltimore in the World Series. But right now, we still have action. Plenty of time for the Steelers and Cliff Stout. Draw play, Franco Harris. And Franco breaks for 7 over the left side to the 47.
Oh, this is when the back loves to get the football. You know they're playing prevent defense. Everybody, give me the ball.
This is work on the numbers,
ball.
right?
Let me add a couple of 30-yarders on here.
And the Steelers with 2 timeouts remaining choose not to run another play. They're going to go in and regroup. The Bengals have roared back. The Bengals on top at halftime, 14-10. We'll be back with our halftime features after this message and a word from our local stations.
Come on, one more. No. The championship of the entire civilized world. I'll pass. And the Michelob Light. I'll serve.
Michelob Light for the winners.
Would good friends really play this hard for a beer?
Michelob Light for the winners.
It is Michelob Light, the rich, smooth taste you can compare to any beer you like.
I thought you were tired.
Nope, just thirsty.
Michelob Light.
The who? The tax people. Oh, today. Oh, all right. Call the accountant.
Running your own business, you need all the help you can get. That's why you've got the Rainbow, the new personal computer from Digital with 2 separate microprocessors, one for today's jobs and another for tomorrow's. It's like getting 2 computers for the price of one.
Oh, hi. We've been waiting for you.
The Rainbow from Digital Equipment Corporation. Call 1-800-DIGITAL for the store nearest you.
Make your move to Chevrolet's new Celebrity. Move into the comfort of more passenger room than 91 out of 95 import cars. Move into Celebrity and the traction of front drive. Try to find any other front drive automobile that gives you more passenger room for less.
Chevrolet.
And you.
Taking charge.
Thursday.
We're on a roll. Hotel fire. Multiple entries.
Trapped in a blazing inferno.
Where are you going? Are you crazy? Then get up there.
And the trauma team is their only hope.
6. Don't give up now.
Trauma Center. Thursday.
They're rolling out the red carpet and warming up the homemade food. Jim Brady returns to his hometown, and Chuck Gowdy is there on Eyewitness News tonight after the game.
What's it take to go this far in life? Ask a Marine.
Persistence, confidence, hard work, and a little luck. And before I piloted the space shuttle or Skylab, I needed a place to develop those qualities, to prepare for anything life has to offer. And you can take it from me. Being a Marine gives one the groundwork to build on. So the sky really is the limit.
Find out. Maybe you can be one of us. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Savage Bees, Tuesday at 3.
The Phillies and the Orioles have dominated their respective divisions in recent history. Now, for the first time, these 2 great clubs battle for the greatest prize in baseball. The Whiz Kids against the Whiz Kids in the World Series, beginning tomorrow on ABC.
The Cincinnati Bengals have come back from a 10-point deficit. They got a touchdown, a pulling effort on the part of Pete Johnson, and they got an interception return on the part of Jim Griffin. And Cincinnati has taken the lead from Pittsburgh 14-10. Tonight's halftime features are being brought to you by Merrill Lynch, a breed apart in the breadth and quality of its financial service. Highlights coming up your way, and then a report on the World Series.
A 6-month CD is a smart investment. But if you could picture a CD that makes even more of your money, what would it look like? You'd want to see it lock you into a high fixed rate. Or maybe you'd prefer a competitive variable rate. You'd want access to your money at market rates and avoid a penalty for early withdrawal. For safety, Federal Deposit Insurance would be added, plus a starting investment as low as $1,000. Put it together and it's obvious. There's only one place to call for all these benefits: Merrill Lynch, where an account executive will help you choose a CD with the right maturity to meet your financial goals. Now that you've pictured it, why not make it real? Call tomorrow and get a closer look at insured CDs available from Merrill Lynch, a breed apart.
The Orange Bowl in Miami. Yesterday, the Buffalo Bills were in town in an attempt to rebound from last Monday night's defeat at the hands of the New York Jets. It's never been easy for the Bills in Miami. But yesterday, Joe Ferguson put on quite a show, the veteran quarterback of the Bills, against Miami's #1 defense in the NFL against the pass. Second quarter action, the Bills on top 7-0. Ferguson looking deep for Byron Franklin, the second-year speedster from Auburn. Franklin is there behind Fulton Walker, and Buffalo moved on top 14-0. Picking up the action now in the third quarter. Don Shula looking for more offense. Started his rookie quarterback, the #1 draft pick from Pittsburgh, Dan Marino. And from the shotgun, Marino hits Mark Duper. Duper going 63 yards for the touchdown to tie it at 14. And later in the third quarter, 21-14, Buffalo on top. Don Shula went to the playground for this one. Marino hands off to Tony Nathan, who on the reverse gives the ball to number 83, Mark Clayton, who then looks for Duper deep, a 48-yard touchdown pass to tie it once again at 21. Marino to Nathan to Clayton to Duper. Then in the fourth quarter, with the score tied again at 28, Dan Marino back, looking for Mark Clayton, the rookie, 8th-round draft pick out of Louisville. He's in the end zone, 14-yard touchdown to put Miami ahead, 35-28 with 3 minutes remaining in the game. Fourth and goal for the Bills with 28 seconds remaining. Ferguson looks to Joe Cribbs out of the backfield. That tied it up at 35. Ferguson on the day, 5 touchdowns, over 400 yards passing, into overtime, 1:08 left in the overtime period. Donello, 36-yard field goal. He wins it for the Bills. Buffalo 38, Miami 35. Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, California. Seattle and San Diego are both trying to stay close to the streaking Los Angeles Raiders. And Seattle, under Chuck Knox this year, is playing everyone tough. First quarter action, Zorn is back. Scoreless game. Charlie Young, the receiver, 25-yard pickup to set up the game's first touchdown. Then in third quarter action, 21-7, the Seahawks on top. Dan Faust playing with a broken navicular bone in his left hand, looking deep for Bobby Duckworth. Duckworth in full stride takes a pass, 59-yard touchdown to cut Seattle's lead to 21-14. San Diego brought it even in the fourth quarter at 21, and with 2 minutes left in the game, Don Coryell's injury-riddled secondary came up with a big play. Andre Young steps in front of the receiver at the 40-yard line, returns it 40 yards for the winning touchdown. San Diego over Seattle, 28-21. San Diego joins Seattle and Denver at 3-3 in the AFC's West. Atlanta, Fulton County Stadium, Atlanta, Georgia. And Steve Bartkowski of the Falcons is having a great year. Third quarter action, the score tied at 3. It's Bartkowski back. Looking for number 82, Stacey Bailey. Bailey open in the end zone, 20-yard touchdown pass, 10-3, Atlanta has the lead. Now in the fourth quarter, Atlanta on top 10-6. The veteran Ken Stabler came to play. Play action fake. Looks for Wayne Wilson. Wilson, 23-yard touchdown pass, and it's 13-10 New Orleans. With 1:16 remaining in the game, the score 17-16 Atlanta. Atlanta kicks off to Kenny Duckett. Duckett, the second-year man from Wake Forest, looks for the sideline, moves upfield and takes it 41 yards. And then on the final play of the game, it was left to Morton Anderson to put the winning numbers on the scoreboard for the Saints. Morton Anderson is good from 35 yards out on the final play of the game. New Orleans over Atlanta, 19-17, and a 3-way tie in the NFC's Western Division. New Orleans joins Los Angeles and San Francisco at 4-2.
Saturday.
Nobody move.
The heat's coming down in Chinatown for T.J. Hooker.
It's a shooting gallery, and we're the targets.
Then, Jamie Farr goes way overboard for Heather Locklear.
Wow.
On the Love Boat. And
oh my,
a working girl's search for true love
Welcome to the party.
traps Rourke under her spell.
You won't regret it.
Fantasy Island, Saturday.
All across America, the teams of the National Football League bring you a celebration of competition. The NFL takes pride in its 64 years of tradition and in creating the first charitable foundation in professional sports, NFL Charities, where NFL clubs set aside on-the-field competition and work together for a common goal, a better future for all of us. Commissioner Pete Rozelle.
It's our way of complimenting the local voluntary efforts of our players, coaches, and club presidents. NFL Charities is our way of saying thank you.
By supporting programs like the Vince Lombardi Cancer Research Fund, the United Negro College Fund, and 100 different organizations and programs, NFL Charities over the past 9 years has committed more than $5 million to fight drug abuse, promote safety in sports, and provide human services. NFL Charities, helping others in the true NFL tradition.
And that tradition continues here tonight, where earlier Paul Brown, the legendary one of the Bengals, presented a $10,000 check from NFL Charities to the National Operating Committee on Athletic Standards. Accepting was Robert White of Wayne State University, who is president of the committee. We're at halftime here in Cincinnati, Riverfront Stadium. Cincinnati leading Pittsburgh 14-10. They came back from a 10-point deficit. And, of course, the World Series begins tomorrow night. Let's go to a report from Howard in Baltimore on the World Series. He also had a conversation with both starting pitchers for tomorrow night's game.
John, you know this Baltimore team pretty darn well from your days with the Indians. It's not that much different. How are you going to handle it?
Well, they're a very tough ball club. There's no question about it. They have the organization that has always believed in putting a winner out on the club. Or out on the field. They're very disciplined. And there's no question about it that I have to be on in order to beat these guys. And I remember the times that I pitched against them, what it took to beat them. And that's what I'm going to have in my mind, thinking about all those particular pitches, particular hitters. And hopefully things will go well that I can put together that kind of game.
Well, the guys you've got to stop, quite obviously, you've got to stop Murray. If he's stoppable, how do you handle him?
Well, Howard, you know, one of the things about focusing in on a particular hitter that you can get so caught up in a particular hitter, you forget about the other 8 guys that you're going to pitch against. I've found in all of my experiences of pitching that number 1 hitter can hurt you as much as number 4 hitter, as much as the pitcher can hurt you. So Murray, no question about it, is the type of hitter that can spark a big inning by taking you deep, and obviously I'm going to try to guard against that, but I'm not going to focus in on him and forget about the other guys because I have to beat them all.
You've got the 4 basic pitches, your purpose, and who was it said? Lowenstein said the thing about Denny is he's always around that plate, and that complicates things.
Well, there's no question about it. You throw strikes, and you've got a chance to beat the opposing team. If you throw balls, you're going to put them on base. You're going to get behind hitters. You're going to have to come in with a particular pitch, and you're going to get in trouble. If I can stay around the plate, throw the kind of pitches that I want in the particular areas, there's no question about it that I'm going to be tough.
Thank you, John, and much good luck to you.
Thank you very much, Howard. Thanks.
Scotty, seems to me they put the burden on you. You've become the big game man. You feel the pressure?
Oh, no, not really. I think that I guess that's where you want to be in your career, is be able to somebody they can rely on, and I'm just happy to be in that position where I can pitch the first game of the playoffs, and now the World Series, and hopefully pitch us for a couple more wins the rest of the season. I enjoy it.
That's what Jim Palmer says. I said, what's McGregor got? He said, not much. He just knows how to win.
Well, I think that's very important. I believe in myself, and I realize that realistically, if I'm here, I got just as much chance to win as the other guys, so why shouldn't I win? So I think that if you pay enough attention, if there's anything I could tell anybody that's younger, just pay attention and listen to the people who are trying to help you. And I've had people like Jim Palmer and Jim Catfish Hunter to help me when I was young, and it paid off.
Rick Dempsey says the thing about you is you never lose your poise. If you get bombed, doesn't matter. You come out the same great pitcher the next game.
Well, I think that that's something that I've developed from being able to watch some of the guys we've had in our ball club And I think realistically, you can't win every ball game. I'm entering in every game trying to win that game, but if I don't win every game, then if I try and win every game, I'm just going to drive myself crazy. So I'm realistic enough to know that I'm going to win most of them, and I'll lose my share too.
In a nutshell, the big problem, containment of Mike Schmidt.
Well, the way he's hit the ball over the past few years, I know I don't walk a whole lot of people, but I wouldn't mind walking him a few times just to get by him. No, Michael, you know, he's a very powerful hitter, likes to swing the bat, and I'm going to go after him the best I can, but I certainly don't want to give in to him.
Thank you, Scott. Good luck.
All right, thanks.
Sunday.
All we have to do is wait for her to call.
But she's not going to call you. You blew that one.
Oh, I'd like to see you.
How about dinner?
The judge has a new look.
30 years, a renowned jurist, and I'm down to serving convicts in my own dining room. You rang, sir?
Now he's cooking.
You don't have the maturity to handle a woman like that. I'm younger than you? Certainly better looking.
Hardcastle and McCormick.
Hold me.
Sunday following the World Series.
Both the Steelers and the Bengals coming back out onto the field. The Cincinnati Bengals coming from a 10-point deficit to take a 14-10 lead at halftime. Turk Schonert will stay on as a replacement for Ken Anderson, and we'll be back in just a moment.
This ABC Sports exclusive is being brought to you by Michelob Light, an exceptional light beer with a rich, smooth taste. By Chevrolet, official U.S. cars and trucks of the 14th Olympic Winter Games. Chevrolet and you, taking charge. By Digital Equipment Corporation, quality, compatibility, reliability, computers from Digital. And by RCA, makers of innovative video products that will open your eyes.
Sunday. Stallone. Billy D. Williams. Together, they are the force.
You sure you know what the hell you're doing? I think so.
Nighthawks, a network television premieres Sunday following Hardcastle and McCormick. Parental discretion advised.
The company said they had plans for me. Said I was crazy to throw it away to train horses.
When a man has something extra deep inside his soul, it shines like a diamond, and it's worth more than gold.
Glad I had my own plans.
So here's to the man who looks deep inside, and here's to the man who finds something extra.
Stroh's signature is something extra. You have our name on that.
It takes more than high octane to keep your car performing well. That's why these world-famous stunt drivers rely on mobile detergent gasoline. They know a car with a clean carburetor performs better. It's as simple as that. Mobile detergent gasoline for your everyday driving needs.
Live marathon coverage Sunday at 9.
Cliff Stout playing without his healthy wide receivers, Greg Hawthorne. And, of course, John Stallworth having a rough night tonight. The one interception translated to Jim Griffin, 41-yard touchdown for the Bengals. The Bengals will be on the receiving end of the second-half kickoff. You had a quick look at Rodney Tate and David Verser. And here's Gary Anderson. The second half is underway. David Verser from the 7-yard line, the speedster. And he's taken just out over the 20, close to the 23-yard line by Mike Merriweather. And Turk Schonert remains the quarterback. If you weren't with us in the first quarter, Ken Anderson, the gifted quarterback for the Bengals, near his own 2-yard line. Drop back. The blitz was on. Keith Gary, number 92, watching. He's trying for the safety. I don't think you can really fault him. He put the hand out. There was the face mask. I think he even tried to release it and wound up with Kenny Anderson's jersey. But Anderson, who had suffered a very severe neck injury in the Buffalo game several weeks ago and a slight concussion, is out of the game. The x-rays taken were negative, but Turk Schonert remains the quarterback. On first down and 10, Schonert fires and is complete to Isaac Curtis, and Curtis is up close to the 30-yard line in the arms of Ron Johnson, short of the first down by a couple. Let's take a look at the numbers as they transpired from the first quarter to halftime. Cincinnati, of course, got one of their touchdowns on an interception from Jim Griffin, I mentioned a moment ago. They also brought Pete Johnson in and put together a long scoring drive. They had the margin of possession as you see, as we translate to the halftime. 17 minutes and 50 seconds against 12-10. And in overall yardage, 166 to 100.
It's not what you call a real offensive show.
Well, the defenses are outscoring the offenses 14-10 right now.
Second down and 2. Schoenert looks it over from his own 31-yard line. Play action on second and short. Trying to get a big one, and Schoenert has to pull it down. He has the first down. Hook slides out of the 40 to the 43-yard line for a Bengal first down. And I'll tell you, Schoenert coming in 4 years in the NFL, actually started with Chicago. Coming into the night when he was pressed into action, he had only thrown the ball 33 times in his career, at 18 completions, no touchdowns, but no interceptions. The former Stanford NCAA passing champion back in '79 is on the spot right now. The Bengals almost have to have this game tonight. They're 1-4 in the season. The Steelers are 3-2 and looking to tie Cleveland in the AFC Central with a win tonight. Flag is down.
Like an offsides against Pittsburgh. They got a little antsy right there in the middle of the line, but you see they're bringing some linebackers. I would imagine we'll see more of that this second half. Pittsburgh's not generating a great deal of offense, so maybe they will rely on that defense to score some more points for them. They're bringing linebackers from different directions.
A lot of movement. Our referee, Pat Haggerty, will sort it out. And what we have is the movement on the Pittsburgh Steelers offside.
Looks like they got a little anxious right there in the middle of the line. That happens a lot of times when these guys know that they're not going to just go right straight ahead. Sometimes when they blitz, they got one of those defensive linemen will go to the left shoulder, let that linebacker come to the right shoulder. He jumped a little quick.
Offside, number 67, defense, still first down.
Gary Dunn in the middle. The two setbacks in there with Turk Schoenert, Rodney Tate, who we just saw absorbing the blows of the Steelers on that last play, and Charles Alexander, who is now the single setback as Tate is split out. Alexander. And Alexander gets into Steelers territory. Short of the first down by a couple. It'll be second down and 2, 48-yard line of Pittsburgh.
Well, Schoenert's done an excellent job. He came out and threw the ball to the right side. That's the way they started the game. It looks like they're sticking with whatever the game plan was, to pick on the left side of the Pittsburgh defense of throwing the ball, throwing under the deep backs, and trying to break something up the middle. They haven't had much success running up the middle, but they've been having some pretty decent success throwing those intermediate passes, 15, 20 yards downfield.
And the dangerous one for the Bengals. Collinsworth split to the left. Schoenert wants him deep. Collinsworth is behind Blunt, and he doesn't hold on at the 3-yard line. Blunt forcing Collinsworth to the outside, and Collinsworth bitterly complaining to the officials that he was interfered with.
Well, we saw him complain earlier in the first quarter with I think he had more reason to complain this time than he did one in the first quarter. That one looked like Blunt did get his way a little bit.
If Schoenert could have got it out a little further, put it out in front of him a little further, this is a cinch touchdown. He certainly had him beat.
I'll tell you, Mel Blunt, 35 years old.
He's there, wasn't he?
Somehow got a hand in there. Collinsworth with much more speed at this point in Blunt's career.
You see a ball that's underthrown a little bit, as that one was. And you see a lot of times the guys have the receiver sees the ball, comes back, catches it. But it looked like to me that time that Blunt could have interfered a little bit. But what do I know about pass interference?
Nothing. A 3rd and 1, play action.
There he is.
Schoenert has a man wide open, and it is Stanley Wilson, a rookie from Oklahoma, on short yardage. The Steelers thinking short yardage run. Play action. Schoenert hits Wilson, and the Bengals are moving once again.
Comes back again. He's got 3 receivers in the route, deep, middle, and short. See Pete Johnson, 46, is back in. Got some time to look at these guys. He just drops it right over here. That's Jack Ham out there. Jack Ham. We miss old Jack Ham. Jack Lambert. That wasn't even Lambert.
The play action held Lambert just long enough that he could not get back to that zone. It was a good call.
It's a good pattern by Wilson going to Oklahoma. You know he didn't catch many passes down there.
Oh, no. Rookie 9th-round draft pick Stanley Wilson gets the first down for the Bengals inside the 30 of the Steelers. Pete Johnson back in the game. This is the big one. Johnson picks up 5 yards, moving to the 25-yard line.
It's interesting. They bring Big Pete in, and I think they're telling Pittsburgh, you better tighten up your helmets, because whenever Pete comes in, they're putting the ball down on the ground, and they're just playing muscle football. They got the muscle.
Funny you'd mention that.
Johnson got 5. Dandy will get out of that some way.
Well, I was just going to agree with that. Yeah.
Second down and 5. Johnson remains a single setback.
Quick.
Warner wanted to release it, had to pull it down. The intended receiver, the tight end Ross, covered as Lawrence Taves and Woodruff were both with him. The pressure made Schonert pull it down, and he'll lose yardage. Back to the 29-yard line.
That's a tough loss. When you got a 4-point lead and you're in field goal range, you don't want to lose any yards. You never want to. Big Jack Lambert, been around a long time.
They got him out in the passing situation. I don't know that I'd ever take him out.
Well, he's one of the few guys that normally never lead a game from Pittsburgh.
Third down and a long 8. Here comes a blitz.
They're going to throw it all at him, I'll guarantee.
Harvey Clayton coming from the outside. Nails Schonert all the way back to near the 40-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like all 19 of them came that time.
Huh? All 19 of them. You know, Lambert's tied with Ted Hendricks for the, I guess, the leading receiver, interceptor in active players. And they got him. They don't even have him in those passing situations all the time.
But normally, I think maybe he just needed some rest because Blunt, Woodruff, and Lambert are normally the 3 guys that play in any situation.
Yeah.
You know, they aren't really designated to come in and out. Maybe they're just giving him a little rest.
Tell you what that sack did. It moved Cincinnati out of Jim Breach's field goal range. So Pat McAnally is on at the punting unit. Very timely effort on the part of the Steelers and Harvey Clayton. McAnally does not get the corner. End over end. Short punt that Paul Scansey falls for and makes the fair catch inside the 15-yard line. A punt of 26 yards, and I think it was because McAnally was pressured.
A Big 8 matchup. Number 1 ranked Nebraska with its tough and unbeaten scoring machine, including Turner Gill, Irving Fryer, and Mike Rozier, take on the Missouri Tigers Saturday on ABC.
I got it right. D-O-G spells dog.
D-O-G, dog.
Or is it D-A-W-G?
Well, he left the J out. We're not counting nobody out for nothing.
Steelers having their problems. The Bengals fired up. The Steelers have the football. First down. The ball at their own 14-yard line. Walter Abercrombie. Abercrombie gets out over the 15. Close to the 17-yard line. A pickup of 3. It'll be second down and 7.
Well, I'll tell you, until Stout start completing some medium passes, some passes to get those middle linebackers out of there, all those little traps that they're trying to run inside just won't work. I mean, they're just not going to work for him. And he does have some problems. He has 2 guys on his offensive line who doesn't play regular. We know the problems he had with his wide receivers, but I think I'd start trying to hit my backs on medium routes and trying to hit my tight end to get those middle backers out of there.
Second down and 7.
I'd tell my defense to play harder. Play harder. Score more points, defense.
Abercrombie.
That's what I'm talking about. That's it.
And Abercrombie got up to the 30-yard line, but the pursuing Bengal defense met him there, and it will be third down and 4. We wondered why Lambert was out of the game on a passing situation. He's a good pass defender, and we've been told now that he has a slight head injury, and he is expected to return.
Just what is a slight head injury?
I just repeat what they tell me. Slight head injury. No such animal, I know.
I love it. Slight concussions,
yeah,
you know?
It's just slight. It's great. A little scramble, but they're not fried.
I had a slight one when I was out a year and a half.
That's right. Here's a slight concussion.
Third and 4. Franco Harris, the single setback. Here comes the blitz again. The Bengals put on their own safety blitz. They brought Louis Braden. It hurried Cliff Stout. His pass to Calvin Sweeney incomplete, and the Bengals are smoking now.
I think the last 2 series of downs by both teams is an indication of what's going to happen in the second half. The defenses know that both offenses are struggling, so then they're going to throw everything in the world at them. We might see somebody get man-to-man and break a long one in a little while, but Louis Braden is right there in Stout's face. He just got rid of that one.
He was lucky it wasn't picked off. They had Ken Riley in the game for the first time, and he looked like he was after his 60th interception.
He is
he's
an
the active
amazing
player
athlete,
leader.
too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the active player leader with about 59, and second is Mel Blount. You got the two top guys playing today out there.
Colquitt to do the punting for the Steelers. Off the side of his foot. Mike Martin couldn't get up for the fair catch, and it takes a bit of a Steeler bounce to the 32-yard line, but the Bengals, with a 14-10 lead, 8:31 remaining in the third quarter, have good field position. Colquitt, a 48-yard effort. He got a good roll.
Intellivision presents You Make the Call. On a free kick following the safety, the Miami punter kicks from the 20 and the ball is recovered on the 34-yard line by the Dolphins. Now you make the call. Is it a legal recovery?
Finding the best video game system is a tough game to win. Who plays the most games, the best-selling games? In Television 2, add the new system changer and play all Atari 2600 games. The most games, the best-selling games, like Hubert. Enduro, Burger Time. In Television 2 has the most going for it. More games than Atari and Coleco. Over 430 games. Get in Television 2. It's got the most going for it.
What call did you make? On a free kick after a safety, normal kickoff rules apply. And since the ball traveled more than 10 yards, it is a legal recovery.
One on the left is on the right, and the one in the middle is the Methodist.
Pittsburgh Steelers struggling offensively. The Bengals leading 14-10, and they have the football at their 32-yard line. Schoenert, Alexander, and Alexander, line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
And Robin Cole looked like came in there. We haven't heard too much from him, but he's the second man in the Steeler defense as far as tackles are concerned this year. The only player from New Mexico University that's ever played for the Steelers. Robin's had a good career here with them. #1 draft choice back in '77, I think.
The shuffling defense of the Steelers.
If you want to see a future star, keep an eye on number 69 in the middle of that line, Rivera.
Second down and 9. Schoenert is thinking blitz, and he could well get it. Second and long.
No blitz that time. Look out.
The pressure, and Schoenert gets the ball out. Goes out to the tight end, Dan Ross, but incomplete. Dirk Schoenert was pressed into action when Kenny Anderson left the game in the first quarter. Damaged neck. X-rays negative. That is the last word that we have been able to get from the clubhouse. Third down and 9. Steelers change personnel again. Steelers have been tough defensively. Second in the league. The flag is down.
They didn't get 2 chances this time.
And down goes Schoenert.
They got him.
Yard line. Gary Dunn was there, as was Keith Gary, and Schoenert is hurt.
Looks like they're going to get Keith Gary for a roughing. That's 2 on him tonight.
Yeah.
That gave Forrest Gregg a little bit of a shake.
Number 92, defense. Offside, defense.
Keith Gary again called for aggressive play. He wears number 92. They get Schoenert out of the pocket. And let's pick up the foul.
You'll watch 92 come in from the right side of the screen, right here. Yeah, the old welcome to the NFL. Welcome to the starting unit.
And that will produce a Cincinnati first down out at the 42-yard line. Here's the call.
Personal foul, number 2, hiding on.
Well, he put a 90 in front of that, and we've got Keith Gary. First down and 10, 42-yard line. We're midway in the third quarter, and the Bengals are on top, 14-10. Blitz again with the Steelers, and Robin Cole stormed in, covered Alexander, and a flag is down.
That blitz was timed just right. slipped right in front of Mike Wilson, the tackle, who was pulling the block on that last play, and Robin had that one timed. There's a flag down. Didn't see that.
And Gary is indicating that it will work against the Bengals, so it will. We'll pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves.
WLS-TV, Chicago.
Forrest Gregg, head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals, looking on as his Bengals are assessed the holding foul.
Number 55, offense.
Well, we don't have a 55. I think what we have is a 65. He's the only offensive lineman. It would be Max Montoya. It'll be first down and 20, and there is Chuck Knoll. In the background. And what a great record he has compiled in his 15 years as head coach of the Steelers. And just a little slow getting it delivered was Kurt Schoenert, Ron Johnson, in there to knock it away from the intended receiver.
Actually, I think he was trying to do the same thing that Jim Griffith did. He was trying to play the ball there. He had a running start, and I think he was a little disappointed he didn't pick the ball off.
Schoenert glances over to the bench where the signals are being sent in to him. Picks up the call, steps back in the huddle on second down and 20.
That's a good group.
I'll tell you, at the beginning of this game, the Steelers looked like they were going to blow the Bengals out of it. They had a 10-0 lead. Pete Johnson came in, capped a long drive to bring it to 10-7, and then we had the interception. And great return by Jim Griffin to put the Bengals on top, and Schoenert goes down again.
You got to do that. You just got to do that until the quarterback beats you, and he can only beat you by getting rid of that ball quickly.
Let's watch Gabe Rivera, the #1 draft pick out of Texas Tech. Also Keith Willis, number 93, and Keith Gary, number 92. They were all over Schoenert.
The big number 69, I know people, they're expecting big things from him. I know the Raiders wanted him real bad in the draft. They say he's a lot like Joe Green. He's a tough kid. He's physical, and they think he's going to be one super football player one day.
He can play on the nose. He can play on the outside. He has great speed. He weighs 282 pounds.
They call him
Rivera.
They call him Senior Sack.
Respectfully.
I'd call him Mr. Senior Sack.
Third down and 28. Draw play, Alexander. Picks up a few yards, far short, of course, of the first down, and Cincinnati will have to punt.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Pittsburgh go after one of these punts because they're not doing much moving the ball. They're going to have to make something happen.
I tell you, they pressured McAnally on his last one, and he got off a 26-yard effort when he was looking to put it out of bounds inside the 10. And here's McAnally out again as we look at Paul Scansey, the rookie return man from the University of Washington.
How would you like to be returning the ball when you know everybody's going after the block? And if he gets it off, it's you and the 11 of the other guys.
I'd stick up my hand right now. Fair catch.
No, they got a return on here.
McAnally, not high, but rather deep. And Scansey drops and takes it to the 22, upended at the 28, and Scansey is out over the 30-yard line after a hit by Larry Kennebrew. Pittsburgh has the ball back. We'll be back in a moment.
If you're just looking for a small car, your choice is very large. But if you're looking for a small car with advanced front-wheel drive engineering, your choice is more limited. And if you're looking for a small car that's also very sporty and maneuverable, you'll find it reassuring to look at this one. Skyhawk, the first car to succeed at being both small and Buick at the same time.
Wouldn't you really rather have a Buick?
This Bud's for everyone who takes the power and sends it down the line.
This Bud's for you, for all you do. The king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do. This Bud's for you.
World Series preview with Dick Schaap and Ray Gandolf tomorrow on ABC's World News Tonight.
While we are away,
O.J. had a thought. Richie Fuqua.
Maybe it was Alan Amici. I mean, Franco's been around a long time. I mean, passing me up and all. He must have been here at least 15, 20 years.
We got some smart cats down there in the truck.
Could it have been Rocky Blanco? Rocky wasn't around that long, was it?
Tom Tracy. Tom the Bomb.
I think it was Fuqua. Steelers first and 10 inside their own 31-yard line, and Stout is complaining and a flag is down.
Oh, wait a minute. What was the back that ended up in Dallas?
Procedure against the Steelers.
All right, Stout. That's what I'm talking about. He's getting into the game now. Got his helmet off.
Does he realize this is late in the third quarter?
I'm not quite sure what they're complaining about, but now Chuck Noll is taking up the case on the sideline. I'll tell you, Chuck Noll can look very serious, can't he?
He really can.
He's something else.
Start. 55. Offense.
There's the captain, Franco, there.
That was Rich Donnelly filling in for the injured Steve Corson at right guard, who was offside. And, of course, as I mentioned several times earlier, Tunch Ilkin is filling in at right tackle for the Steelers for the injured Larry Brown. So they are hurting on the right side as well as the receiver corps, where both Greg Hawthorne and John Stallworth are injured.
Is that the same Tunch Ilkin from Turkey?
That's Tunch.
One and the same.
First down, 15, Steelers. Stout, a lot of time, and the man's wide open. It is Wayne Capers, a rookie from Kansas.
Out and up.
Tim Riley over in the left side, where we have told you earlier, Riley is playing with a full hamstring.
Almost looked like somebody missed an assignment over there. Little play-action pass, and nobody was out there. He just went out and up. What? I'm about to run out of bounds here.
Let's take a look at him. He's running them out.
Well, he does look like Stallworth.
He did it real nice.
If he can perform up to Stallworth, because he certainly is a lookalike, the Steelers have themselves something in this rookie from Kansas, Wayne Capers. The first down is at the Bengals 48-yard line. Abercrombie. Good running by Abercrombie. Breaks the tackle and gets inside the 45-yard line. Gain of 4. It'll be second down and 6.
All right. What's the answer? All right. Abercrombie's out there right now.
Oh, Jay's got a good memory. That Preston Pearson could be.
All right, too.
Hey.
Talk about your boy.
Well, it took you a while. You guessed everybody there was. I mean, you had to come up with Preston Pearson.
Well, I figured it was Preston or Allen.
Why did you guess John Henry Johnson? I mean, he could have done it, too.
Preston Pearson, one of the few Steelers not homegrown. Started in Baltimore. Wound up in Dallas. Abercrombie got 4. Second down and 6 for the Steelers.
Look out.
And Stout, again under pressure, had to deliver the ball much more quickly than he wanted to. Reggie Williams, very cerebral linebacker for the Bengals, was all over Stout.
Cliff's out there saying, so this is what Terry's been doing all these years. I see.
And it's one of the reasons Terry's at home.
Yeah, no wonder Terry's got a sore arm. Boy, he's nobody. That might have been Abercrombie's man. You see 34 going out to the outside.
Yeah, it looked like it should have been.
I know if it was not, I'd have tried to talk him to pick him up next time.
He had his hands up. Maybe he thought he was hot on the play, you know.
Reggie's very active in the community here in Cincinnati. He's a big hometown favorite.
Third down and 6. The ball inside the 45-yard line of the Bengals. Good pass to Al Sweeney. Stout under tremendous pressure. Sweeney was hit, but he had first down yardage.
There's a slow whistle.
Yeah, it almost looked like he was hit before he caught the ball.
It was.
You know?
Calvin Sweeney with man-to-man coverage because the Bengals were on the blitz. Made a fine catch.
Take a look at Calvin here.
He knows the blitz is on. He's looking right to the receiver, Riley.
You know, that's a tough call. I don't know what the answer to that one is either, because he did get hit
before.
And
he was smart enough to get up. You know, one of those intelligent guys from USC.
The first down is at the 36-yard line. Stout going for Capers. And the defensive back, Louis Breeden, also a very heady veteran, timed his collision with Capers just perfectly.
Well, I think Stout thought he was going to go outside, you know, on the back end, was trying to lead him along the sideline there, and the guy went inside, and Stout really threw the ball to the outside. He had no chance at it. See the end of it. You see the ball is to his outside, to the 0 side of him. Caper's trying to get back out there, but he just can't do it.
Both of them checking out the ball. No flags. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Steelers trailing 14-10. 4 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Play action to Abercrombie, and Stout comes back across the field to the big tight end, Benny Cunningham, and Benny Cunningham has the 1st down yardage to the 25-yard line. Tom Dinkel there defensively for Cincinnati. So the Steelers now on the move here in the 3rd quarter. And a reminder, Saturday college football here on ABC, 3:30 Eastern Time. Nebraska with a 16-game winning streak, and their great running back Mike Rozier take on Missouri. Nebraska is a team 2nd in the nation total offense, and Missouri usually plays them tough. They were played tough last week by Oklahoma State.
Oh, they were. That was
Saturday here on ABC college football. That's Franco Harris, and he gives up the football. The Bengals get it back.
I don't think he ever had it.
Bobble it around, and Glenn Collins comes out of the pack with the football for the Bengals. The Steelers had a 1st down at the 26-yard line of the Bengals. And on 1st down, uncharacteristically, Franco Harris, maybe it was a handoff, maybe it wasn't, coughed it up, and the Bengals have got it back.
I don't believe Franco ever had it.
Let's take a look at it. We'll see it.
They'll look at it with reverse angle.
A little stutter step.
Something almost ragged about this Steelers offense. They've been called procedure calls.
Hit him high.
Never had the ball. Hit him high. It seemed to me they should make some rule about that. We've talked about that in the past. We've seen backs get the ball on the shoulder pads, and that goes against them. That's their stat. You know, it should be a quarterback stat.
Well, I'll agree.
14-10. We'll be back in a minute.
For the first time in his life, he's struggling, having a hard time in math. He needs help. He can get that help with the home computer from Texas Instruments. It has more educational cartridges than any other computer. They challenge, encourage, make learning fun. The home computer from Texas Instruments. It can give your child a head start in school that could last a lifetime.
What keeps America going on a freezing day? Presto! What brings football fans up to Green Bay? Presto!
Why does your car need a fresh fill of Prestone? After just 10,000 miles of driving on weak, neglected antifreeze, a radiator could look this bad, while a Prestone radiator looks this good. That's the Prestone difference.
What brings them to the mountains from wherever they call home? America goes with Prestone.
The Phillies and the Orioles, 2 great clubs who meet for the first time, battle for baseball's greatest prize. The World Series begins tomorrow on ABC.
Glenn Collins covered the Franco Harris fumble for Cincinnati, and the Bengals bring it up. 1st and 10, the ball at their own 26-yard line. Alexander, single setback for the Bengals. 3:23 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Schoenert turning to the sidelines, cuts back inside, hook slides over the 30-yard line, picking up additional yardage, but he could have paid heavily for it, as Robin Cole had zeroed in on him along with Lauren Taves. Gain of about 7 yards for Kirk Schoenert.
You can believe Robin Cole don't appreciate that. Next time Schoenert come out there, they're going to be bowling up for him. And normally you see those quarterbacks go down, and you wonder why these guys are taking shots at him. They hate to be shown up by a quarterback. You put a move on you like that.
We saw Joe Ferguson do it last week for a 1st down, and
help him
we
out
lost
of the game
him for the rest of the night. 2nd down and 3. Alexander, big opening, and Alexander will have the 1st down up near the 40-yard line as the Bengals put things together here in the closing minutes of the 3rd quarter. Tough defensive game tonight. And, of course, the Steelers struggling offensively. Terry Bradshaw, of course, still on injured reserve. Questionable if he'll be back at all this year. Stout has been going all the way. They've been hurt on the right side of their offensive line. The Steelers have offensively. Their wide receiving core has been totally depleted. And, of course, Kenny Anderson for the Bengals went down with an injury, and they are being directed by Turk Schonert at the moment, and he has called timeout.
The name Buick has always stood for automobiles that are well above the ordinary. Automobiles that are engineered for a quiet, smooth ride, designed for comfort and convenience, and built to make you feel good about your car as long as you own it. Maybe that's why, in the last 7 years, over 5 million discriminating people have chosen Buicks. And we're expecting another very good year. Think about it.
Would you really rather have a Buick?
The Olympians, that tough breed of steel-belted radials from Kmart. Warranted to go the distance. Made by Uniroyal, Olympian's aggressive European all-season tread takes every grueling mile in stride. Olympians, warranted to go the distance. And now you can get the Olympian 2 with its 45,000-mile wear-out warranty at a very generous sale price, as low as $37. Olympian 2 by Uniroyal. More proof. We've got it, and we've got it good.
1:59 remaining in the third quarter. Riverfront Stadium, sellout crowd. And I know their spirits dropped considerably in the first quarter. Steelers taking a 10-0 lead, but they have roared back. Have the Bengals. They now lead 14-10. They're being directed by Turk Schonert. Collinsworth in motion. Look out, Schonert. Robin Cole on the blitz from the outside spins Schonert around. Robin Cole is a free spirit tonight, and they're turning him loose.
Oh, I think he wanted to get even that time, too. Good thing that Turk stepped forward, because he could have paid a price then. You know, this Pittsburgh defense, they sort of bend, but they don't break. You hear the Pittsburgh people speak of it. They say they're maybe better than the great defense they had during their Super Bowl years. They're playing virtually everybody on the defense. You've heard us mention they're playing 19 players. They say everybody's happy because everybody is contributing to the defense. So it's a happy unit, and they're all playing some super football.
A lot of speed in those down linemen. Beasley, Dunn, Goodman, Gary, Willis, Rivera. All of them run around 4.8 for the 40. Second down and 22, and Schonert is back. Schonert fires a strike, and Pittsburgh is saying it was trapped by Isaac Curtis, and they rule it a completion just short of the first down by about 3.
Let's take a look at it here. It's amazing how Cincinnati, teams like Cincinnati, San Francisco, and San Diego, they just seem to be able to spread the defensive part. Look how wide open the defense is. Very nice catch, but very close.
That was close, right? Yeah, that was very close.
Isaac Curtis has been doing that for 11 years.
I remember 5 years ago.
He had yards.
Let's take a look at it one more time. Let's see. I think he got it.
He got that right wrist under the ball. It's third down and 3 now for the Bengals. Blitz again. Down goes Schonert. Jack Lambert totally unimpeded as he came on the blitz.
What do you I mean, that's got to be scary. You know, you go back there and Lambert beats you back to your setup position. Get out of here.
He's got smoke coming out of those nostrils, too. He makes a lot of noise out there.
You get the feeling if Pittsburgh's going to win, they're going to have to win with that defense. That group is out there right now. They're not moving that ball too well on offense.
I'll tell you, at this point, I think Schonert would vote for them.
That's right.
All right. And time has expired here in the third quarter. The Bengals over the Steelers 14-10, and we'll return with our fourth quarter action after this word from our local stations.
Sunday, the judge has a new look.
You rang, sir.
Hardcastle and McCormick. Then, Stallone. Billy D. Williams. Nighthawks. Parental discretion advised. Sunday following the World Series.
It's a night of madness for Chicago fans. Einhorn is mad at the Tribune, and Ditka is mad over yesterday's Bears loss. Details on Eyewitness News tonight after the game.
When you travel as much as I do, you look for a hotel with a difference.
Nice to see you again.
Thank you.
Here are your messages.
Sheraton knows what I want. They give me convenient locations, fine restaurants, and competitive rates. When you're looking for value with a lot of style, Sheraton's the place.
Taste the difference Sheraton makes. Call the Sheraton Value Line, 800-325-3535.
In the world of business, how you present yourself and your ideas determines just how far you go.
Good morning, Mr. Russell. Good
morning. At Hart Schaffner & Marks, we make quality clothing of rich, luxurious,
Good morning,
pure wool.
Mr. Landis. Thank you.
And the men who wear our suits have learned one thing.
Good morning, Mr. Keith.
The right suit may not help you get ahead, but the wrong suit can certainly hold you
Hi,
back.
Herb. No messages, Herb.
Hart Schaffner & Marks, the right suit, made of the world's best pure wool, at the right store.
Live marathon coverage Sunday at 9.
Well, it's another day at the office.
Yeah. The jockocracy is finally taken over.
Hey, y'all watch it, guys.
A couple of class running backs and...
Hey, I got some trivia.
And Don Meredith.
Trivia is that the Pittsburgh Steelers have 9 sacks. And that's all-time team record. I just heard that from the truck, man.
And they've got a quarter to go.
And they're going to have some more before it's over.
Fourth down for the Bengals. The ball at their own 37-yard line. Pat McAnally on for the punting. Paul Scansey has dropped for the Steelers. McAnally free to kick away. Doesn't turn it over. And Scansey will field it at the 25-yard line. Upended out at the 30-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 the Steelers. And a flag is down. Now it's picked up. There is no flag. Coming up tomorrow night. That's where Howard is tonight, getting ready for our telecast with our talented crew. That will be, of course, directed by our regular Monday night football director, Chet Forty, and we are being ably directed tonight by Jim Jeanette. First and 10, the Steelers. They trail the Cincinnati Bengals. Opening moments of the fourth quarter, 14-10. Showing blitz. Stout gets it to Benny Cunningham, and the big tight end bowling forward, looking for first down yardage. He'll be a yard short in the arms of Robert Jackson. Let's take a look at the third quarter numbers. Mostly a defensive effort, not tearing up the game offensively. That's at halftime. That's how it was. Now we'll switch it over. Cincinnati still dominant in yards gained, and they also lead on the scoreboard. Time of possession, look at that. 12 minutes more by the Bengals.
Pittsburgh only has 56 yards rushing, and last year, I think it was... Well, I'll get right to that. Boy, this is big, too. Hold on just a minute.
Second down, less than a yard. Abercrombie breaks it off outside and keeps on his feet, gets the first down, tried to break it big, but nevertheless, he picked up the first down.
I wish he'd have turned up the first time. Then he would have had one guy to beat, you know?
He had that little hole in there,
a little wiggle.
Yeah, I sure like the way he performs, though. He's a good running back and an excellent receiver. A #1 draft pick a year ago who missed most of the year with an injured knee. And the Steelers can be thankful they've had him this year because he is not only a gifted man running with the football, but he's turned into a big play receiver. And that's where they've been hurting. Injuries for Greg Hawthorne and John Stallworth. Retirement of Lynn Swan. Jim Smith to the USFL. Stout. And just when you talk about his receiving ability, Abercrombie doesn't hold on.
Just when I was about to say they should throw him a few more swing passes and short passes.
I still think they should. And that ball was a little bit, it wasn't, well, he should have caught it, of course, but it was a little bit behind him. You know, Franco's not had a good success running against these Bengals. Last year, I was going to say, I think he only ran for 6 yards, something like that.
I think it was 3 yards, 6 carries.
Yeah, 6 carries, 3 yards. That's not what you call one of your big averages.
Interesting stat on Franco is of the 40 games he's gone over 100 yards, they've won, and 5 they've lost.
Second down and 10. Stout. A lot of time. Eddie Edwards misses. Stout.
Look out.
That's a dangerous pass. Trying to come all the way back across the field to Calvin Sweeney, and that was almost picked off. Robert Jackson roaming back there at free safety had his hands on it. But you leave that ball in the air that long, somebody's going to get to it.
Well, that was a good example of it, having inexperienced receivers because they saw he was in trouble, and nobody really scrambled to find an open area.
Come back to help him. That's right.
Let's take a look at Abercrombie.
At this point, Abercrombie should have been coming back, giving Stout the passing angle.
Yeah, but he's on the complete opposite side of the football field, and it would have been a very difficult throw to get it all the way over there, let alone see him.
Yeah, but what you're saying is right. Abercrombie should have gone back toward that quarterback. Come back in there toward him.
3rd down and 10. Steelers at their own 44-yard line. Blitz is on again. And Stout goes down at the 40-yard line. Ross Browner, one of them in there, and Eddie Edwards. In fact, they were all there.
Yeah, they're coming in. It only kind of, this doesn't always work. But if you've got some rollout passes, instead of going back there and trying to set up in a pocket that doesn't exist, let the quarterback roll out to the right or left and throw those little short swing passes. Well, we can really see it up here, can't we?
I tell you, it's easy up here. Right.
Eddie Edwards. First man there for the Bengals. Steelers 4th down. That's Mike Martin, the rookie from Illinois. And here's Greg Colquitt. Colquitt, booming punt. Mike Martin from the 13-yard line. Good coverage by the Steelers.
They usually do that pretty well, don't they? Those special teams for the Steelers throughout the years have been pretty effective.
Bob Coors down there on the coverage. And the Bengals will have the football. The ball just inside their 20-yard line. We're in the 4th quarter.
When they move him down?
A couple years ago when he hurt his arm.
Early in the year, these guys were down here scouting the kids. Now they're back looking for help.
Bring out your best.
The best never comes easy. That's why there's nothing else like it. Budweiser Light.
Bring out your best. Budweiser Light. Bring out your best. Budweiser Light. Bring out your best.
The best.
Hey, Bob. You got a minute?
It has a taste all its own. Enjoy it.
Budweiser Light.
The Phillies and the Orioles, 2 great clubs who meet for the first time, battle for baseball's greatest prize. The World Series begins tomorrow on ABC.
Not 2:36, 12:36 remaining in the game. And the Bengals, possession inside their own 20-yard line. Kirk Schonert remains the quarterback. Kenny Anderson out with a neck injury in the 1st quarter. Here's Alexander on the 1st down call. Over the right side for a couple in the arms of Mike Merriweather and Dwayne Woodruff of the Steelers. It'll be 2nd down and 8. We've seen Pete Johnson, in case you have joined us late, sparingly tonight. They used him extensively in one drive that resulted in the Bengals' 1 touchdown executed by the offensive unit. He was the principal ball carrier, but this is his first night back. And it looked as though Johnson had really fired him up while he was in there, but let's face it, he has not worked that much. On 2nd down and 8. Schonert with a good move to get the ball to Dan Ross for a pickup of about 3.
Tried to hit him quicker than that, and Ross wasn't looking. He saw him pull it down. Again, there's young quarterbacks on both sides. We've talked about it. They're blitzing linebackers, safeties, cornerbacks, and that's what they're going to continue to do, I would say, all night long. Throw it at him. Come at him.
Got a 3rd down and 6. Look at the Steelers shuffle. The fire drill continues. They get the pass defensive folks in there. The Bengals bring in the other wide receiver. They've got Chris Collinsworth, who's been relatively shut down tonight. Isaac Curtis and Steve Freider. Picked off by Ron Johnson.
He may go in.
Turnabout, fair play.
Ron Johnson takes it in. There are no flags down.
The defense has scored 20 points. Well, 18 points anyway without the PAT.
That's almost identical to what we saw earlier when we saw James Griffin do that for Cincinnati.
Ron Johnson read the eyes again of Schonert. Full stride. He picked it off. 34-yard touchdown return.
I tell you something about those defensive backs. Let's take a look at it from an end zone.
Schoenert looks left.
Well, he
all the way.
As if he was looking all the way.
It's what he did.
You look at these Steeler defensive backs. They're coached by a guy named Tony Dungy, who was a rookie in 1977. I'll tell you a little more about that story when we come back.
That's Gary Anderson helping put the Steelers back out on top. They now lead the Bengals 17-14. We'll be right back.
The RCA SelectaVision Video Monitor is a high-performance television and more. It's designed to get the most from your video components. Video cassette recorders, video disc players, and even your stereo. Simply plug in for a better picture and true stereo sound. The RCA SelectaVision Video Monitor, quite simply, incredible. We'll open your eyes.
Sean Connery is James Bond in Never Say Never Again. Sean Connery does it all in Never Say Never Again. Rated PG. Now playing. Check newspaper.
You talk about tough. Now, Sean Connery is tough.
Bond. James Bond. So is that guy, Ron Johnson.
34-yard touchdown for Ron Johnson. Steelers, both of their touchdowns executed by the defense. Gary Anderson set to kick off. Stanley Wilson, the rookie from Oklahoma, is back with Dave Verser. A little more than 11 minutes remaining to be played. In regulation, that is. High kick by Anderson. And here comes Wilson, the rookie from Oklahoma. And he runs immediately into David Little. And it will be first down for the Bengals. And fisticuffs break out. These two teams really haven't cared for each other. They've got some tough sledding over here, the Steelers have in the past few years, particularly here in Cincinnati.
Teams don't like one another.
How do we go to Green Bay next Monday night?
Hey, we're going to see some offense.
The boys will be there.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
How about that Sunday game on October the 23rd?
Like that one, too.
All right.
That's going to be two good ones. The Raiders come into Dallas.
Wonder how far Dallas will be behind.
I don't know. They really had an amazing.
Oh, I could not believe that.
Yeah.
Timmy Newsom made one of the great efforts I've ever seen down that sideline to pull that one out for Dallas.
Kept walking along tightrope, didn't he?
First down, Cincinnati. The ball at their own 23-yard line. That's Isaac Curtis in motion. Whoop, changed his mind. Donner. A little late releasing it. Taken out of bounds. Chris Collinsworth. There was a good drop by Robin Cole, the linebacker, to force that ball to be thrown out of bounds.
You know, I started to tell you a story about Pittsburgh's defensive back coach, Tony Dungy. Tony Dungy was drafted out of Minnesota. He was a quarterback. He came to Pittsburgh, and they moved him to defensive back where Mel Blount and Donnie Shell sort of worked with him a little bit to teach him how to be a defensive back. He was traded to the 49ers. Now he's back coaching the guys who taught him how to play defensive back.
Well, he must have learned that one in a hurry. I think I understand it.
Well, the quick study.
Yeah.
You saw Kurt Schoenert, who has not seen much play. He was having a difficult time reading the play from the sideline.
They do the wiggle waggle.
He's running out of time, and he just does get it off within the 30 seconds. Dan Ross, another short reception. Pickup of about 3. It's going to be third down and 7. Mike Merriweather, getting a lot of calls tonight, was there defensively for the Steelers. I wonder what motivates somebody to get into one of those funny suits.
Well, they just want to get out of the house. That's all there is to it.
Maybe a free ticket.
I remember that guy.
And we put on those funny suits there.
Yeah.
A lot of people wonder what motivated us. Money.
26-yard line, third down and 7.
Look out. Look out.
Keith Willis. But Schoenert gets away from Willis, and he gets the pass off to Collinsworth, and he has the first down out near the 37-yard line. And good job by Schoenert to get away from the charging Keith Willis.
That was an example of seeing a little more experienced receiver also come back toward that quarterback what we were talking about earlier. Schoner should have been tackled, it looked like to me. This is big Keith Willis, 93. He almost pulled him down right there.
Oh, he'll be upset in the film tomorrow.
Turk still looking for that receiver, threw that ball on the run.
Here's what you meant, Don. Watch Collinsworth. He sees that Schonert's in trouble. He's over there helping.
Keep looking, trying to find an open spot, man. That's how you keep moving out there. I tell you what, you're going to look for receivers like that when you know they're doing that. They're working.
Alexander on the first down, and defensively, big Jack Lambert once again.
He does have a way of being around that ball, doesn't he? Yeah, he said, oh, it was nothing.
I say, even his teammates don't get too close to him out there. I've said it many times. He plays this game in the Stanislavski method. Totally motivated.
Lambert saw the tackle pull out there and just shot in right behind him. These guys, they play each other so much, you may be wondering why nobody seemed to be fooled by any play here. Well, when you play twice a year, every year, you tend to know what the other team is doing. Pretty tough to fool anybody.
Loss of 5. Oh, blitz again on the second down and long, and it was a safety blitz. Harvey Clayton coming from the outside, right in Schonert's face. He had to deliver it long before he wanted to.
All right, now really, I think it's time to start rolling out a little bit. Now, don't you think they'd have some of that rollout passing in the offense somewhere around there? Doesn't everybody have that, roll right, roll left?
I think they do.
Yeah, if you can't block them, let's get out of their way. Let's run one way or the other.
They have come with it many times tonight, the Steelers, and Schonert, only because of pretty good athletic skills, has he been able to avoid a much more severe pounding than he's already taken. Clayton has been in about 3 times, totally freewheeling. Third down, long. Blitz again. Schonert.
That's it.
And he gets the ball to Kreider, and Kreider has first down yardage up to the 48-yard line. And again, Schonert showing a lot of composure.
That time they picked up a few of those blitzing linebackers just long enough for him to hit it. Kreider is coming in from a slot position. You can see the safety going again. So cross pattered over the middle, and they couldn't hold up to him. Couldn't get in there.
Good heads-up play by both Kreider and Schonert. Kreider saw the linebacker, Lawrence Taves, going, and he was looking quickly for the ball that he knew that Schonert would have to release quickly. When the blitz, you always have single coverage, and he was able to beat Ron Johnson. Pete Johnson back in the lineup. This is Big Pete. Urging into Steeler territory for a gain of a couple. Lauren Taves and a whole bunch of his buddies finally bringing Big Pete Johnson down.
Surging, I guess, would be. That is a good description of that. Surging. He didn't say lumbering.
Say he's very graceful for the size of the man he is.
270 pounds.
The ball right at midfield, second down and 8. A little more than 7 minutes remaining in the game. The Steelers are on top, 17-14. And timeout is called. The Steelers want to talk it over. We'll be back. Gifford along with the dandy one, and O.J. Simpson watching a hard-hitting football game, if not a game of cosmetic perfection. The Steelers and the Bengals. We have 7 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the game, and the Steelers lead 17-14. Both of their touchdowns coming from the defense. Second down and 8. Ball right at midfield. Pete Johnson. Second and 8. Not one of your better calls of the night, as Johnson is held for about a yard pickup, and it will put Schonert back into another 3rd and long, 3rd and 7 situation.
You know, you're right, though. They gave it to Johnson again, and that time he had Gary, Willis, and Goodman, all their whole defensive line. But that's about 700-800 pounds, I guess, against 270-pound Pete Johnson. Stopped him for a yard.
Well, they need about 15 more yards before they can bring Breach in.
And perhaps a little more. Jim Breach is not one of your longer kickers. Third down and 7. Schoenert has the time. Isaac Curtis has the ball. He has first down yardage at the 40-yard line.
And Isaac just keeps on rolling on. I remember 5 years ago we were talking about earlier, he had a knee operation. A neighbor of mine, Frank Job, out in L.A., operated on him and had talked to Frank about him, and he really didn't think Isaac would play much more. He really thought it was a severe injury. Isaac was in his late 20s at the time.
He's had a terrific career, though, hasn't he?
Keeps rolling along. He's no longer the game breaker that he once was, but he's been able to adjust to being the possession receiver, and he's doing a good job of it.
He's down from about 9.5 to about 9.9, I guess. First down and 10. Here comes the blitz again. And Schoenert completes his 14th pass of the night in 22 attempts to Collinsworth.
It's amazing what you can do when they pick up those blitzes.
It is. Every time they pick it up, they're going to complete. They've completed the ball, so that's true. You're going to blitz. You're taking a chance because you're leaving them back there one-on-one.
Collinsworth just short of the first down. Schoenert looks to the sidelines where the play is being signaled in.
And it's amazing what one guy can do to a team. This is the second time they brought Pete Johnson into the game, and the team seemed to be moving the ball real good.
Second down, less than a yard. Seconds ticking away. Inside 5 minutes remaining. Backs flooded to the right. Schoenert looks for individual coverage, and he gets it with Collinsworth working on Blunt. Put both backs to the right, play action, and Blunt wound up single coverage on Collinsworth. He gets the first down.
I'd say they're in field goal range right now, wouldn't you? 25?
I would say Pittsburgh is going to start bringing some people. More than one, which is what they've been doing the last 2 or 3 plays.
Earlier in the game, Cincinnati was within field goal range, and they gave up the sack. And rather than being able to go with the field goal, they had to punt away. The Steelers probably thinking that again. They've been getting to Schoenert, but he has shown a lot of cool in a very adverse situation tonight. This is Rodney Tate on first down.
Didn't fool him that time.
Hear it all the way up here, couldn't you?
Yeah, didn't fool him that time.
Lauren Taves with a real nice play coming across there, forcing him upfield.
There's a gain maybe of a yard. It'll be second down and 9. Cincinnati 1-4 on the year. They were 7-2 last year, blown out of the Super Bowl tournament by Freeman McNeil and the Jets 44-17. Pittsburgh, well, they got there last year to the Super Bowl tournament with a 6-3 record. San Diego did a number on them in the Super Bowl tournament.
Looked like a fire drill over in that defense. And they brought in 6 new guys.
Second and 9. Johnson, a single setback for the Bengals. And a whistle stops the play.
Did he run out of time?
Delay of game.
Oh.
Offense. Well, once again, the 30-second clock is ticked off, and it'll be 5 yards assessed against the Bengals.
Yeah, I tell you, all those guys coming in there, he's trying to figure out what they were going to do. But you know what? It's too bad they didn't get it off, because it appeared as if they had picked up all the blitzes. They had Isaac Curtis double team over the middle, but the 2 outside guys had one-on-one situations.
It's a kind of a game of chess, because if you keep your backs in to pick up the blitzing linebackers, you're going to get double coverage when they don't come on the outside guys. If you don't keep them in, you put them in the pattern and they come with the blitz, well, you're going to be looking for a new quarterback.
Got Rodney Tate out wide tonight.
Second down and 15. Steelers showing blitz again. And they bring just the 4 linemen, but they chase Schoenert out of the pocket, and he had to throw it away. It was Gary Dunn, who had just had freewheeling, chasing Schoenert out of the pocket.
He sure made a quick release, this C. Dunn, 67, right? Hey, well, Latoya says, wait a minute, what was that snap count? I forgot the snap count.
You know, that's what it was.
That's really what it was. He got off the wrong count.
And he's a good one.
Yeah, he just can't hear real well.
Poor guy.
Third down and 15. Not an enviable position against the Steeler defense. They're young. They're not the old Iron Curtain, but they are ever so quick. 4 down linemen.
Right there, they're about 47 yards away from a field goal.
Isaac Curtis had the ball in his hands. He was upended by Harvey Clayton, who timed his hit out beautifully. And now, on 4th down, we anticipate Jim Breach coming on. Jim Breach, 5 of 6 for field goals this year with a miss only at 40 yards. He had a long field goal this year of about 47, and that's about as far as he's going to put it out there for you.
Yeah, that's about where he is right now.
Well, this is like one of those old-time football games, you know, 17-17, defensive struggle, controlling the game, possibly 17-17.
Back in the dark ages before the new rule changes. It's a 46-yard attempt. Well, make it 47. Got the distance.
Oh, hit the goalpost.
Crossbar, not good. And Breach fell to his knees. Just hooked into the crossbar. Screamed off. And the Steelers will get the football back. And they remain on top 17-14.
Just got a little of that hook shot going for him.
I think one of these days they're going to have one of those laser beam goalposts, you know, so if it goes through the goalpost, it's good.
Well, they call it on the tennis, you know, they call him the one eye or what is it? Oh, yes. Yakadoo, yakadoo,
yakadoo. My aching back.
3:40 remaining in the game, and the Steelers have the football back. Don't go away.
If you want it,
I like it.
if you really like it,
I really like it.
we can help you get it. We're GMAC.
I want it.
We're GMAC Financing.
GMAC has helped more people buy their new GM car or truck than anyone, with rates that make sense on models people want. All at your GM dealer.
If you really want it, we can help you get it. We're GMAC Financing.
We got it.
Some things speak for themselves.
The Bengals 1-4. They're back to the wall of this young season. The Steelers had led the NFL in rushing, 206 yards per game coming into tonight. And look at tonight. 62 yards. They only have been able to rush for 12 yards here in the second half. 1st down and 10. Franco Harris held to practically nil tonight. This time over the right side for about 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
Well, you know they're going to try to run it now.
What better man to have out there running it than Franco?
You know, Forrest Gregg was talking about, I said, we missed Pete Johnson on the short yardage, but what we really missed is in a situation like the one we're looking at right now, where you got to control that ball, and that's what Franco has been called on to do so many times in the past. Maybe he'll do it again tonight.
I remember playing an all-star game with Chuck Knowles. He's a real quiet guy, and I was on the football field. He started yelling at me. Simpson, you were supposed to do this? I said, no, I was supposed to do that. Then he started, when I was yelling at him, he started smiling. I think he just wanted to know if my head was in the game.
2nd down and 7. Steelers using all the time they can on the clock as Frank Pollard is brought up short on the right side. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Steelers now working on the clock.
I like to see him try to go outside because just about every play they've run, they've tried to run up the middle. And Cincinnati's not giving much up the middle.
Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining. Each of them had to sacrifice one with confusion of personnel. Third down, 5. Bengals showing blitz. They drop out of it. And they go back into it.
Oh, no.
And almost picked off by Robert Jackson, the pass intended for Calvin Sweeney.
Oh, boy.
Louis Breeden pressuring on the safety blitz. And Cliff Stout hung it up, trying to get it to Calvin Sweeney. Now watch Breeden coming in from the side.
Pretty slow drop right there. Breeden did make his move to the inside. Wasn't picked up. Stout didn't get back very quickly. Threw the ball with just his arm. That should have been picked off.
I wish they had a shot at Chuck Noll then.
Yeah. Bengals disguising their blitzes beautifully tonight. Forcing the Steelers to turn it over once again. Colquitt hurries the punt. And this will be Mike Martin.
Good field position.
And Martin gets the Bengals out to the 38-yard line. And that's the 2-minute warning. We talked earlier about the Dallas game. Many of you probably saw, but it was another come-from-behind win. The Cowboys remaining 6-0. Let's go back and take a look at it. Tampa Bay deserved better than they got yesterday. Frankly, they did. Danny White with 1:59 remaining in the game. Tampa Bay on top, 24-17. Fires into the end zone, looking for the touchdown to tie it up. And is picked off by Cedric Brown. The score still 24-17. Now 57 seconds remaining as we pick up the action.
No timeout.
Springs caught 2 from Danny White. No timeouts remaining. Timmy Newsom down the sideline. Timmy going about 230 pounds. Walking the tightrope. Gets it into the end zone. Touchdown to tie it up. And then Rafael Seption, roughing the field goal kicker from 50 yards, got to try again. He made good from 42 yards out. Tampa Bay loses to Dallas 27-24 in overtime. Dallas remaining the only undefeated team in football. We're going to see them a week from Sunday when they take on the Los Angeles Raiders.
Don, tell me about that roughing the kicker.
I don't understand that.
Yeah, it looked like he was on the ground. And
no, that was not the one right
there.
That
was not the one, okay.
They got him earlier on that.
They got him really good the first time.
They really did. Hey, we got old Roger Staubach in that ring of fire down there, so congratulations go out with Roger. He's up there on the...
He better not be nearer the 50 than you.
Well, he certainly should be.
38-yard line.
Well, it's showtime.
1:54 remaining. The Steelers on top 17-14. The Bengals desperately need this game. They're 1-4 in the season. Donert, he had Isaac Curtis.
He did, didn't he?
He missed him.
Yes, he did. That's that guy you guys been talking about all night. This Gabe Rivera looked like he made a little late charge in there. May have blocked his vision some, or at least sounded off loud enough to let old Turk know he was in the area. All right, let's see if number 69 comes in. Makes a little quick move to the inside. Come on back around over here now. All right. There you go. Yeah. 200, what'd you say he weighed? 280?
282 program weight, and he is quick as a cat. Second down and 10. Donert. Collinsworth almost broke the tackle. He could have got in, but he has the first down inside the 40-yard line of the Steelers.
Now, you wonder, they haven't blitzed any linebackers or any safety people. They've had great success with that all night. I guess they're trying to protect against that one-on-one situation where he could go all the way. But they're down off the close right now.
Cincinnati, for some reason, calls timeout. There's 1:35 remaining. They are down to one timeout. We'll be back.
You gotta reach deep inside.
We always run faster together. Maybe it's the baton. Maybe it's the way we push each other.
Bring out your best Budweiser Light. Bring out your best Budweiser Light.
The best has a taste all its own. Enjoy it.
Hard-working hardware. Now there's more for your hard-earned dollar at Sears National Hardware Sale. This Craftsman hand tool group, all tough, all half price. This 1-horsepower router or 3/8-inch drill are both half price. Plus Sears rugged half-horsepower garage door opener at our lowest price ever. And now there's more hard-working hardware on sale for you.
There's more for your life.
During the National Hardware Sale now through Saturday.
At Sears.
O.J. made a very perceptive comment a moment ago. When you watch Chris Collinsworth, you realize he's a threat every time he gets his hands on the ball to score. He almost broke this tackle. That would have put the Bengals ahead. Donnie Shell caught him by one leg. Collinsworth, 6 receptions on the night, 79 yards, coming off a record-setting performance last week against Baltimore when he caught 8 for 206 yards. One timeout remaining for Cincinnati. They have a first down and 10, 38-yard line of Pittsburgh, 1:35 remaining in the game. Schoenert picks off, stepping right in front of the receiver is Harvey Clayton. Clayton down the sidelines. Clayton scoring once again for the defense, and Schoenert, under a lot of pressure, tried to squeeze it in, and it was Harvey Clayton, who has got a lot of calls tonight as a blitzing safety man.
Can you believe this? First touchdown as a pro. Can you believe this is a team that's been winning the stat competition in every game and not winning? They haven't made the big play. Tonight they've scored 3 touchdowns. All 3 touchdowns were scored by the defense.
And half the Steeler football team has chased Harvey Clayton down the sidelines. Schoenert again, he did have pressure, tried to get it in to Kreider. And then Harvey Clayton down the sidelines. Rookie, 5'9", 170-pounder out of Florida State.
He got a great block.
First touchdown.
Yes, didn't he?
He got a great block from Anthony.
Then he'll block Kreider out of the way. So, wait a minute.
Gary Anderson for the conversion.
It's going to make it a long season for these folks here in Cincinnati, and they've got a better ball club than a 1-6 or a 1-5 or whatever it is.
There he is. Not big, but he has been standing tall tonight, has been a tremendous force defensively on the pass rush.
And you bet he's going to keep that football. It's his first touchdown, as we said, as a pro.
Schoenert just tried to squeeze it in to Steve Kreider, and you'll see right here again, Don, he's got a lot of pressure on him.
But he's throwing this ball a long way.
He had a little time to throw this time, Shake. He just seemed like he wound up.
Rivera had his arm up. Dunn was pressing, and
he doesn't have that gun.
Anyone who's ever been out there understands everything is going on, all the noise and the discussing of the different people's ancestry and things like that. It gets a little violent in there.
Yeah, this is when he decides I might as well stay here because that one's gone. Well, even if they weren't in there, they've been in there enough tonight because he knows they're in the area, so that's going to make you think about it.
Well, you find out one thing, despite not having Ham, Joe Green, L.C. Greenwood, why so many of the people in Pittsburgh believe that this could be their most effective defense yet. These guys, if they had an offense, if they played any offense, this defensive team is amazing.
2 sides of the field. You had to look at Turk Schoenert, who was within what he felt, I know, was moments of pulling this game out. Then you had to look at Harvey Clayton.
really getting this thing going. He said, I don't know what happened out there. But that's a good point. If they're hot, man, they can put some points on the board.
Fifth stop will just drop.
I look forward to seeing Cherry Star a lot more than I do Bart. Yeah, he's a lot prettier than Bart.
Bengals have one timeout, and in a frustrated way, I presume they'll use it. Tough night for Turk Schonert. He came in, obviously not prepared really to go, because when a team gets ready for a team like the Steelers, they usually use their starting quarterback all week in the drills. Schonert came in, performed admirably under a lot of pressure, and as I mentioned before, he was within just a few yards of at least tying this thing up and sending it into overtime when he threw the interception that was picked off by rookie Harvey Clayton.
He did throw some good balls tonight, though, Frank. Turk
he
got a good arm.
Well, this puts Pittsburgh in the first place tie with Cleveland, huh?
You got it. You got
right
it.
there.
Steelers back on top.
This Sunday, the Steelers will be home, and they are going to play Cleveland.
Oh.
And Cincinnati will be in Denver to play Denver. And as Don mentioned, we'll be in Green Bay next Monday night with the Redskins. Seconds ticking off. We'll have to watch Stout go through that charade one more time.
This is killing Stout's yards per carry average here, you know.
And he had a pretty good average coming into this. And I'll tell you something. This game is so emotional. He'll have a hard time sleeping tonight, thinking if I could only have had that back. We were just almost close enough for Breach to tie it up. Why couldn't I have thrown it just a little further?
Yeah, and they hit the goal post on one.
This will be the final play of the game. The Steelers defense has defeated Cincinnati. Rather resoundingly. We'll be back in just a moment.